everybody. From the Orange Bowl here in Miami, Florida, this is Tom Hedrick, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, along with Jack Drees will be doing our play-by-play, the voice of the St. Louis Football Cardinals. We have an ideal day for the Super Bowl game, the second game between the AFL and NFL champions. Here in Miami, it's 64 degrees. The wind is blowing from the west at about 10 miles an hour, and it's partly cloudy. Yesterday was foggy and rainy down here, but today it couldn't be a better day for it. It's a sellout of 75,546 fans. The Green Bay Packers, the three-time NFL champions, will take on the upstart Oakland Raiders, who are making their first title appearance. They emerged triumphant this year with a great record of 13-1. Now, the Packers return to the AFL-NFL title game that they won from Kansas City last year, 35-10. The Packers get here to a couple of great victories. They knocked off the Rams 28-7. And 2 weeks ago, they knocked off Dallas 21-17. In the final 5 minutes, Bart Starr took them 68 yards to pay dirt. Now, the Oakland Raiders have got the finest record ever in the AFL. They won 11 straight. And on the record, they had a 13-1 mark. They were noted for their outstanding defense. That showed in the championship game when they defeated Houston 40-7. Both ball clubs are noted for their strong defensive units and their winning quarterbacks. The Packers recorded a 9-4-1 record, and they're led by the strongest core of linebackers in pro football. Ray Nitschke plays the middle. Of course, in the front four, they've got people like Willie Davis, all-pro defensive end, and all-NFL tackle Henry Jordan. Back deep, Herb Adderley, Willie Wood, and Bob Jeter play with the best coverage men in pro football. The Oakland Raiders are a strong defensive team, probably stronger than the Kansas City Chiefs last year because of their speed and quickness at cornerback. The Raiders, through 10 AFL games this year, yielded only 189 yards passing and running. However, the AFL champions right now have done a great job offensively because they have scored 468 points in the year. A big blow to this football team came in the Houston game when Tom Keating came up with an Achilles tendon, and he's been working the last 10 days, but it's very tender. He will not start today. This football team from Oakland's been dubbed the 11 Angry Men because 67 times in the year they have dumped opposing quarterbacks. Well, Keating is the man that gave them great solidification 2 years ago. He's 6'2" and 247, and along with Kansas City's Buck Buchanan, rates as an outstanding defensive tackle. So taking Keating's place today as a starter will be 6'3", 260-pound Carlton Oates. Now, the quarterbacks, again, must be a key factor. Bart Starr was the star of last year's ball game for the Green Bay Packers. He clicked on 9 of 13 third-down calls. 2 went for touchdowns. He was 16 for 23 passing and good for 250 yards. The Raiders signal caller is Darryl LaMonica. He's the AFL's most valuable player. He'll be in his second title game, but that compares to 12 for Bart Starr. LaMonica on the year completed 32 touchdown passes, and he was able to throw for right at 3,228 yards. He's got the tools to be an outstanding pro quarterback, the size, the running ability in the arm, and the leadership qualities, but he's only been in a big ball game once before. The Packers rate is a 12 to 14-point favorite. The strength of their experience, the defensive platoon, they have 97 years compared to 48 for Oakland. Offensively, there's about 13 years difference altogether. They've got a great defensive unit, the Packers do. They've got a tremendous quarterback in Bart Starr, and of course, a highly inspirational leader in Vince Lombardi. We'll bring more color and lineups in just a moment.
You're walking down a quiet street. There's the feeling of being alone in the world. That's kind of the way it was a while back if you smoked a reduced tar and nicotine cigarette. But now things are different. You're not alone anymore. Today, more and more people smoke True filter cigarettes because True satisfies. Satisfies with good taste and reduced tar and nicotine. True filter cigarettes. With the air filtration system, the good feel of a built-in mouthpiece, the good taste and reduced tar and nicotine. Latest U.S. government figures. 12.8 milligrams tar, 0.7 milligrams nicotine. With or without menthol. Shouldn't your brand be True?
Back at the Orange Bowl, Tom Hedrick along with Jack Drees, and quite a colorful pregame show. They've got a replica of the Green Bay Packers, and it's about 30 feet tall to our right, the Oakland Raiders to our left. And I think we'll have an outstanding football game, the second annual AFL-NFL championship game. And the man who today will call the play-by-play, the voice of the St. Louis Football Cardinals, Jack Drees. Jack?
Thank you, Tom. And this is the first bit of ferocious confrontation we've seen. These two giant papier-mâché figures animated down there with smoke coming out of their nostrils, symbolizing the Packers and the Raiders. Indeed, these two teams coming into this game have bent over backwards to say nothing to irritate the other. Leading one wag to write in his column down here that the referee should be marrying Sam. Last year, Kansas City came into this ball game with a player designed to strike fear into the hearts of opponents, Fred Williamson, their defensive back, who was called the Hammer, but he didn't do much hammering against the Packers. This year, the center of attention has gone to big Ben Davidson, at close to 6 feet 8 and 275 pounds. He's a defensive end who got nationwide publicity for the one he laid on Joe Namath. And he has been billed as the big bad man in this game today. But it's been curious that the Packers have not singled out Mr. Davidson as they did not single out Mr. Williamson last year. And it's been nothing but complimentary marks from one to the other as the teams train for this confrontation today. It'll be interesting to see how Green Bay treats Mr. Davidson. Last year, the terror in the line, really, all press notices going to the Hammer notwithstanding, was Buck Buchanan. And the Packers went right at him, ran their running game right to him, and did it successfully. Now, this year, they may elect to utilize their attack in the direction of Ben Davidson, and this might be a factor in favor of the Pack, because Ben Davidson, a noted pass rusher, is labeled as somewhat weak on the runs. The Oakland Raiders, underdogs in this event today, Tom, have been getting a lot of free coaching from the newspapers, who seem to be unanimous that the way they can beat the Packers is to exercise ball control, namely through shooting a running game at them, and they have two fine runners in Pete Banaszak and Hewitt Dixon, and to limit themselves to short passes. Well, this is always very nice in print, but in the course of a ball game, it's sometimes a little difficult to come by. I rather imagine that they will be going for long throws now and then, because they got a couple of guys that can gather them in. Billy Cannon has finally found a spot for himself in professional football at tight end. He was a great halfback, of course, at Louisiana State. So when he first came into the AFL, he was noteworthy for his lack of success. Finally, they put him at tight end, and it looks like at that point he has found a home. Well, if they can run those plays that get a tight end one-on-one, a throw completed to Billy Cannon could very well go all the way. And Hewitt Dixon, actually the fullback, or one of the two running backs, since they neither label him fullback nor halfback, has been the leading pass receiver of the Raiders. And, of course, that bespeaks a one-on-one situation, usually with that back against a linebacker. And since he can travel, that might be the sort of bomb that Darryl LaMonica will go for. You mentioned, Tom, that Darryl has had only one really big game in his career. This has been a fantastic year for LaMonica. And from all reports, not only has he been mechanically successful, but he has matured a lot.
He's a great leader. I remember last year when Kansas City was getting ready for the Super Bowl, he came to Long Beach and talked about how important it would be to make the big play to Lenny Dawson and people like that. He's been an amazing story, because here's a fellow that sat on the bench for 4 years behind Jackie Kemp. And Kemp was telling me why LaMonica's a winner. He said he's big at 6'3" and 215. He's got the arm, but the big thing about him, like Bart Starr, you can dump him for an 8- and 10-yard loss, and then the next time, he'll come back and make the big play. This is a real bit of I think, an important thing from a strategic standpoint, that a quarterback is a leader. When he calls a play in the huddle, they believe in him, and if he happens to absorb a loss, he can come back the next time and make that big play. And I agree with you. I think one key factor in this game, Oakland likes the sweep, led by Gene Upshaw. I was talking today to a fine defensive coach, the Boston coach, Mike Holloway. He doesn't think today they'll have very good success sweeping on Willie Davis and company, and I think he's probably right about that. And in talking to Len Dawson, the Chiefs quarterback, he feels that in order to move the ball successfully against Green Bay, that the Raiders must throw today. So you can't run at the Green Bay Packers, but you can throw at them if you throw short. So he thought this would be a key factor in the game.
Third and long yardage, though, doesn't indicate the short passing, so I hope the Raiders have got a few long pass patterns in their playbook, and I'm sure they have. I really would not be surprised to see the Raiders go right after the big outside lineman for Green Bay with attempts of a sweep. They've run sweeps well throughout the season. The sweep is not so much worrying about the size of the opponent as utilizing his momentum on his initial charge to get him out of there. And if they can throw the gauntlet down to Green Bay at any point where the Packers think they're at their strongest and do it successfully, it's a real good gambit to start out with, much the same as Green Bay teed off on Buck Buchanan in Kansas City last year. The Oakland Raiders, having won the toss and elected to receive, will start with Bill Miller at end position. He's a 6-footer at 190 with good speed. At left tackle at 245 pounds, 6 feet 4, will be Bob Slias. Gene Upshaw is a rookie, a number 1 draft choice, and he has done a startling thing moving in at a starting guard position in professional play, but he's a fine one. He's 6'5", 255 pounds, is a lead man on the sweeps, and does a great job of blocking. Jim Otto is at center. He has a peculiar distinction of having number 00. And I'll guarantee you, when you get an odd number like that, you better be good because you're singled out, and he is. Jim Otto holds the distinction of being the only man to make every single all-pro team in the American Football League since its inception. 1960 on, Jim Otto has been the all-league center, and he is again this year. Wayne Hawkins will start at right guard. He's 6 feet tall, weighs 240 pounds. Harry Shue at 260 is at right tackle. And Billy Cannon is at right end. Darryl LaMonica will be the quarterback. And we talked about these backfield members pretty much. Pete Banasek at left halfback came in when Clem Daniels was injured and has more than won himself a berth. Ewart Dixon, a fine fullback. And Fred Biletnikoff of Florida State, who will have quite a local rooting section here, will be the flanker back. Interesting note, backing up Fred Biletnikoff at the flanker position is Rod Sherman, a rookie who holds the distinction of being the last player signed during the existence of the war between the leagues. Now, the Green Bay Packers are being introduced out on the field, and they are going to start on defense. Willie Davis at left end, Ron Kostelnik at left tackle, Henry Jordan at right tackle, and Lionel Aldridge at right end. I think it's worthy of note that this is the starting lineup that started against Kansas City a year ago, so there have been no upheavals in their defensive ranks. At left linebacker, the fleet-footed Dave Robinson, who was an end when he played for Penn State, and is one man that can go one-on-one with a back or a tight end and not get lost. Ray Nitschke is practically a living legend at middle linebacker, and Leroy Cappy holds down the right linebacker spot, providing a trio of linebackers that is labeled the best in all of football. In the defensive backfield, Herb Adderley is a perennial all-pro at left cornerback, and Bob Jeter will be holding down the right corner spot. The safety men are Tom Brown and Willie Wood. Those are the men that will start this game. When the Packers swing over onto offense, we'll see Boyd Dowler at split end, Bob Skoronski at left tackle, Gail Gillingham at left guard, Bob Hyland, or Ken Bowman rather, will be starting at center, Jerry Kramer at right guard, Forrest Gregg at right tackle, and Marv Fleming playing the tight end. Bart Starr, of course, will be at quarterback, backed up by Zeke Bratkowski. Donnie Anderson will start at the left halfback position, and Chuck Mercine will start at fullback. Harold Dale is scheduled to begin at the flanker back position. It's interesting to note, speaking of Zeke Bratkowski, Tom, that many years ago, it was felt when Zeke Bratkowski was drafted by the Chicago Bears out of Georgia that George Halas didn't give him a sufficient opportunity, that George Blanda was getting too old for the job, and Bratkowski should have been given the nod. Well, Bratkowski is having his 12th year in the National Football League right now, which gives you an indication of how far back we reach to get into the history of George Blanda, who does the field goal and extra point kicking for these Oakland Raiders, and who is now spending his 18th year, or finishing his 18th year, in the NFL. When Blanda and Lou Groza, the Cleveland Browns, get together, I guess they help each other up and down stairs.
He's an amazing story. He led the AFL in scoring this year with 116 points. He's always been a good kicker, but this year, for the first time, he can concentrate on his kicking. For example, in the championship ball game, he booted 4 field goals against Houston, his longest being a 42-yarder in that game. On 2 different occasions against Kansas City, he had 3 different field goals attempts and did a great job. He's had a 46-yarder. So Blanda is a fine backup quarterback for LaMonica. And talking about Groza, when you talk about great place kickers in football, you immediately think of Lou Groza. You also think of Gino Capoletti in the East for the Boston Patriots, and now George Blanda. And another nice thing about him is the fact, Jack, you can backstop him, and he still does a good job.
Yes, he can come in and play quarterback and do a pretty good country job at it. Well, now all of the Raiders have been introduced. There have been a couple of changes in their defensive lineup. Carlton Oates will be taking over Tom Keating's position at right tackle, which is quite a blow to the Raiders. Keating is a good one. And Howie Williams will be moving in at the right safety position ahead of Dave Grayson. Otherwise, their usual defensive starters will be in play today. Ike Lassiter at left end, Dan Birdwell at left tackle, Ben Davidson at right end, Bill Lasky, Dan Connors, and Gus Otto are the linebackers. Ken McLuhan at halfback with Willie Brown, and Warren Powers with, as I mentioned, Howie Williams operating in the safety positions. These leagues have slightly different footballs. The American Football Leagues is a little longer and narrower, if that's a proper way to describe an oblate spheroid. But when the Raiders have the football on offense, they will use the American League ball, and the National League ball will be brought in when the Green Bay Packers are on offense. The captains have finished their meeting at the center of the field. They have indicated to the crowd the toss of the coin and the fact that Oakland won it and will receive. So Green Bay will kick off to Oakland, and Oakland, of course, would be delighted if they could put the first score up on the board. And now the Raiders have finished with their sideline huddle. They're heading out onto the field to deploy into position to receive the opening kickoff. Dave Grayson, who wears number 45, and the fleet-footed Larry Todd, who wears number 22, are going down as the deep men for Oakland. Don Chandler will kick off for Green Bay, and this game is moments away from being on. The scoreboard clock here is the official time, so we will be able to give you an accurate appraisal of time remaining in the various periods. Now Chandler has the ball teed up on the 40-yard line, backs away from it. Grayson and Todd are waiting right at their goal line. And the game is on. Chandler's kick is dropping on the 5-yard line, and it's taken out by Larry Todd at the 15, 20, 25. He's done, falls forward to about the 27 or 28-yard line. Bob Hyland was coming in there on the stop for the Green Bay Packers, and the ball is, let's call it the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for Oakland. Then a second Dixon, the running backs. Mid end will be Bill Miller. Red Politnikoff is the flanker. Politnikoff is going out wide to the right. Miller is wide to the left. The running back's in normal position. LaMonica is snug under the center at quarterback, and he gives the ball over to Dixon. Dixon is dumped. Coming in there was Nitschke as Dixon shot for the left side of the line, was upended at the line of scrimmage by Nitschke, and dropped down on the 28 for a short yard. So it'll be second down and 9 yards to go for the Oakland Raiders. The ball now is moved up to just across the 28-yard line. Billy Cannon, the tight end, is set to the left side, making a flanker out of Bill Miller, who's wide to the left. LaMonica barking the signals. He rolls out to the right, has good protection. Lets one go out to the 40-yard line, incomplete, out of bounds. That was Politnikoff over there, and covering on the play was Herb Adderley. Had he come down with the football, he would have been out of bounds. Incomplete forward pass makes it 3rd and 9 on the 28. And so Politnikoff comes back to the Raiders huddle.
Talking about Politnikoff, he is much like Raymond Berry of Baltimore. He's got fine hands and excellent moves, not the great speed of many primary targets, but this fellow runs real good sideline patterns. He's wide to the right once again on a 3rd and long yardage situation, looking back at Darryl LaMonica. LaMonica straight back this time. He floats one out, intended for Hewitt Dixon behind the line of scrimmage to the right, incomplete. Pass was low. Ron Kostelnik, the left tackle for Green Bay, was pouring in there, and he hurried LaMonica's throw just a bit.
So the Oakland Raiders have failed to get a first down. The line of scrimmage is their own 28, and they'll have to punt the ball to the Green Bay Packers. Mike Eyeshide does the kicking, and he drops back to do just that. Willie Wood is deep, along with Tom Brown. The pass from center a little high, but he has time to haul it down, gets the punt up in the air over near the sidelines. Wood chases it right at the sidelines. He makes the catch and steps out of bounds. Put the ball in play just around the 34-yard line of the Green Bay Packers, having kept the Oakland Raiders from recording a first down, take over 1st and 10. Donnie Anderson and Chuck Mercine, the running backs for the Pack. Boyd Dollar at the split end goes out to the left side, but is staying in snug. A single flanker is out. That's Carroll Dale out wide to the right. Off to Donnie Anderson. Anderson fakes to the right, then cuts back over the middle, gets that ball up to about the 38-yard line before the stop is put on him by Ike Lassiter, who's come in there. Call it the 39. It'll be 2nd and 5. End and flank are both out now. And Ben Wilson has come in at fullback. He takes the handoff, swings out wide to the left, is caught along the 40-yard line and dropped at the 41. The stop at that time was Willie Brown. Gus Otto, the right side linebacker, shot through, got a hand on him, but couldn't quite bring him down. And I see Tom Keating is in the game, Tom.
He is, and that could be a big factor. They need him, especially in third down situations. On 3rd down and 3, 3rd down and 5, they play what they call the Oakland defense of the triple stack. With his quickness, they have to have him to do a good job going laterally on the right and left side.
3rd down, a little less than 3 yards to go. Bart Starr in a long count. He gives the ball to Donnie Anderson. Anderson has the first down as he pops through on a dive play along the left side. Shooting up across the 45 to be stopped by Ben Davidson at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for Green Bay. So the first down of the game is recorded, and it's recorded by the Green Bay Packers. They now have the ball on their own 46.
That time the Packers went to a double tight end alignment, getting an extra double team block, and that's one thing that some of the AFL people thought the Packers might do against the Oakland Raider defense.
They've got an end and flanker both out now. Running backs are split out. There's a throw out to the right to Carroll Dale. He makes the catch and then is spun out of bounds by Kent McLuhan. But the catch is made at the Raiders' 45-yard line. Looks like a penalty call back up the field, however. The referee today is Jack West of the American Football League. The penalty flag is down. Were nipped on an illegal procedure, and the Packers declined it, taking the gain. They put the ball down on the Oakland 45-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down, about a yard and a half to go. And off to Ben Wilson. He bounces off as he's hit on the line of scrimmage, loses some ground, now fighting for that first down. Fumble. And was the whistle blown dead? That fumble was grabbed by Kent McLuhan, but I believe that the whistle had blown the ball dead before it was dislodged from the grasp of the ball carrier. And a first down is recorded.
We were talking a moment ago about Keating. It was Keating who stopped fullback Ben Wilson, and again, because of his great lateral pursuit, he's the man that made this Oakland Raider defense gel 2 years ago. He and McLuhan are their key men. McLuhan, I noticed early in the ball game, tried to cover the big fellow, Boyd Dollar, and it was good for a 9-yard gain.
So it's 1st and 10 for Green Bay. They've got the ball now on the Raiders' 44-yard line. Carroll Dale goes out wide to the left. Boyd Dollar is in tight to the right side. And penalty flags go down as Ben Wilson takes the handoff, cracks right tackle. Picked up maybe a yard, but it looked like the Raiders came offside. However, Green Bay may have drawn them offside, so we have to wait and see. Referee Jack West surveys the scene, and the penalty is against Oakland. The Oakland Raiders offside Bart Starr has been going quite a bit to the long counts, suspecting that the Raiders might be a bit on the anxious and keyed-up side, and it's paid off twice. The last time, however, they declined the penalty since the gain was better. But now it's 1st and 5 on the 39. End and flanker out. Bart Starr dropping straight back to throw. Has time to get it away, and pitches one to Mark Fleming, his tight end. Fleming is spun out of bounds on the left side down at the 31-yard line by Dave Grayson. First and 10. Now the Green Bay Packers have got the ball 31 yards away.
An area that Green Bay has an advantage is their great size, with Mark Fleming at tight end who's 6'4", and Boyd Dowler stands 6'5", and in a crowd, these men can go up and do a good job catching the sideline pass.
Back goes Bart Starr to throw once again. And now he arches one from the sidelines, and trying to get to that football, Carroll Dale had fallen down, and so the pass is incomplete. He got tangled up down there with Warren Powers, and the two fell to the ground, and the pass sailed harmlessly to the ground. Piece of yellow paper or something down in the field there. We thought for a moment it was a penalty flag, but it is not. It's picked up now by one of the officials and gotten off the field. The ball is back at the 31, where it's 2nd and 10. Second down, 10 yards to go as the Packers come out of their huddle. Ball on the Oakland 31-yard line. There was no score in this game as yet. 10:42 left in the first quarter. Carroll Dale wide to the right. Boyd Dowler split to the left. And on a draw play, Donnie Anderson slips as he tries to cut and is dropped for a yard loss by Dan Connors, the middle linebacker, shooting through. That puts the ball back on the 32, where it'll be 3rd down and 11 yards to go. So, Bart Starr is looking at a 3rd and long yardage situation now. He's got the ball down on the Oakland Raiders' 32-yard line. 3rd down, 11 yards to go. He's got Carroll Dale coming out wide to the right and Boyd Dowler out to the left. McLuhan comes out to head up Carroll Dale. Back goes Starr, throws one over the middle. Pass is incomplete. It was tipped up by Ike Lassiter as it left Bart Starr's hands, and that ball deflected upward, sailed over the head of Mark Fleming and fell to the ground incomplete. So it's 4th down.
Good job, too, by the middle linebacker, who's really come to the fore this year. And Connors from Miami, put a hard rush on the quarterback as he dropped back on 3rd down and 11.
4th down now on the 32-yard line. Don Chandler has come in, and the Packers are going to try to get on the scoreboard with a field goal attempt. That will be tried from 39 yards away. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Timeout is called on the field with the score Green Bay 3, Oakland nothing.
Now there's a better idea from Ford. No other car in Ford's class offers disappearing headlamps at no extra cost. Only the Ford LTD, XL, and Country Squire give you disappearing headlamps as standard equipment, plus Ford's quiet ride. When Ford says better ideas, they just aren't kidding. Better ideas like strong die-cast grills that others in the same price class don't offer. Front disc brakes when you order power brakes. A fully synchronized manual transmission. The 68 Ford itself is a better idea. Quiet, strong, beautiful. A great road car. Drive one and see. Now there's a better idea from Ford.
This is Jack Drees with Tom Hedrick speaking to you from the Orange Bowl in Miami as the Green Bay Packers, with a 39-yard Don Chandler field goal, have taken a 3-0 lead. Chandler kicking off to the Oakland Raiders. A low kick. Fumbled, picked up, screwed his foot back on a lateral. To Dave Grayson, who spins into a swarm of tacklers at the 25. And he is down by Dick Tapp.
Dave Grayson twice, when he played for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Texans, led the American Football League in kick returns. That's always been a specialty of his. He's a fine running back at the University of Oregon.
And now the Oakland Raiders have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. They have 2 wide men set to the right side this time. LaMonica with the ball, gives it over now to Pete Banasek. Banasek is trying that sweep and goes wide to the left and is out of bounds at the 29-yard line, where Willie Wood, the safety man, came over to get him out. Ball spotted at the 29. It's a gain of 4 yards to make it 2nd and 6.
We talked about Green Bay losing backs. The Raiders lost an exceptional back in Clement Daniels at midseason. The very first start, Banaszak against an excellent Kansas City ball club gained 82 yards and scored a touchdown.
Bolitnikov goes very wide to the right as a single flanker. LaMonica goes back to throw, looks out to the right side, throws one down there, completes it to Bill Miller. His split end on the right. And he is dropped as he gets that ball up to about the 38-yard line for a first down. Dave Robinson, the left side linebacker for Green Bay, making the tackle. The ball at the 38, and it's 1st and 10 as the Oakland Raiders have recorded their first down.
Offensively, they like that slot right formation, putting the split end or flanker back up there. And Miller, who had his finest year in the AFL in 1963, did a great job that time getting free and running a kind of a hook pattern.
Now the 2 wide men are set to the left. LaMonica gives the ball this time to Hewitt Dixon. Dixon straight ahead on a power plunge into the line. Gets up just across the 40 where he's caught by Ray Nitschke, the middle linebacker for Green Bay, and flung back. But his forward progress is ruled stopped at the 42. It's another 4-yard pickup, and again it's 2nd and 6. This time from the 42-yard line in their own territory. Oakland. 2nd down, 6 yards to go against Green Bay. From their own 42, Green Bay leading 3-0. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Single flanker is out wide to the left. LaMonica barking the signals. He's a pitch out this time. Back to Hewitt Dixon. Dixon trying it wide to the left is caught by Leroy Caffey. A penalty flag goes down. He's caught right along the line of scrimmage. And let's see what that penalty marker is. There was little or no gain on the play. And the discussion is going on with the Green Bay Packers. Apparently the penalty is against Oakland. And it's a 15-yarder. Jack West gives the signal, and it's a personal foul against Oakland, clipping. So 15 yards puts that ball back on the 26-yard line. So it's a total loss of 16 on the play. The penalty imposed from the spot of the foul. And it'll be 2nd down still, but 2nd down with 22 yards to go. Now they're on their own 26. LaMonica looks over that Green Bay defense. He has 2 wide receivers set to the right side. The bootlegs back to the left, throws up over the middle. The pass is incomplete, but a penalty marker goes down. The target was Bill Miller, the split end. Willie Wood was the defender. And the referee is indicating Ray Nitschke and saying that he pushed one of them, and it's a pass interference call against the Green Bay Packers, giving to the Oakland Raiders a first down on the 38-yard line. 1st and 10. Hold up for 10 seconds now for station identification. This is the CBS Radio Network.
590 on your Tri-Cities dial. WROW Music, Albany, New York.
1st and 10. The ball on the 38. LaMonica taking a long count this time, reaches back to hand off to Hewitt Dixon, his fullback, going out wide to the right, trying to get around the corner, but there are too many Packers populating the corner. Bob Jeter and Leroy Caffey, the first of several to hit him and bring him down at the 41. It's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. The score in the ball game is Green Bay 3, Oakland nothing. Don Chandler with a 39-yard field goal, putting the only score up on the board. Bolitnikov wide to the left and operating more as a slot back. Also wide to the left side is Bill Miller, the split end. The 2 wide receivers out to the left as LaMonica goes back to throw. Has the protection, arches one across the middle to Bill Miller. Miller makes the catch. It's in immediately, but he's got that ball in Packer territory at the Green Bay 46. Willie Wood making the tackle for Green Bay.
second time today that Bill Miller has been open and done a good job. Miller is a fellow that really has been kicked around the American Football League. Had his finest season with Buffalo in 1963 when he caught 69 passes and has done a great job this year for Coach Johnny Roush.
First and 10 now on the Green Bay 46-yard line. LaMonica dropping back, then hands off to Hewitt Dixon, and Dixon trying to get around the bend again is hit this time by Lionel Aldrich, the right end for the Green Bay Packers, and stopped at the 48. That's a loss of 2 on the play. And so the Oakland Raiders are trying those sweeps that were powerful in their campaign through the regular season against the almost sweep-proof Green Bay Packers and have not been able to spring a man around the corner yet. But they are shooting for the strong spots to see if they can get through them. But now it's 2nd and 12 on the 48. They're in Green Bay territory. 2nd and long yardage. A blitzing down. Let's see if Green Bay does that. They're rushing only with the front four, and it's a pretty good rush. LaMonica has to run out of the pocket to the right. He throws. The pass is incomplete. Willie Wood getting over there to break up the play. Pete Banasek, the running back, was the target on it. He was hit as he went for the football and couldn't hold on. So it's still on the 48-yard line, 3rd and 12.
You noted a fine rush was put on by Davis, the defensive left end, and then the quarterback had to roll to his right. And the thing that LaMonica does very well, he's a good scrambler. He was known in the AFL for 2 years as a possession-type quarterback and a good runner. And as he went to his right that time, he does what he likes to do in this situation, throws a circle or swing pass to either Hugh Dixon or Pete Banaszak.
Split end and flanker both out to the right side. Dixon and Banaszak, the running backs, they move out to the right now as LaMonica goes back to throw, and LaMonica let one get away. He shot it out to the right flat, intended for Hewitt Dixon, but it sailed about 5 feet over his head. Henry Jordan, the right tackle for the Green Bay Packers, was coming in there quite rapidly toward Darryl LaMonica, and it may have been a factor in the inaccuracy of the pass. But it runs Oakland out of downs, too far away for a field goal attempt. Mike Eichscheid goes back into punt formation. Tom Brown is waiting back there along with Willie Wood for the punt. Eichscheid puts one high in the air. Willie Wood drifts over near the sidelines for it, lets it bounce on the 5, but with great sticking accuracy by Mike Eichscheid, it goes out of bounds on the 3. Tom, that's one of the things that Mike was noted for. Timeout is called on the field with the score Green Bay 3 and Oakland nothing.
Most people think of household finance only as a lending company. That's not surprising, considering that HFC has been making consumer loans since 1878. But household service to the people goes far beyond lending. Over 700 colleges and universities are using an HFC subsidiary, Education Funds Incorporated, to help thousands of young men and women meet the cost of higher education. HFC also provides shoppers with better values through more than 4,600 franchised or company-owned retail stores bearing such well-known names as Barker Brothers, Scott's, Ben Franklin, Huffman & Boyle, Coos Brothers, and more. Even the head of lettuce in your refrigerator may have been cooled in a plant of City Products Corporation, an HFC subsidiary. Whether you're interested in a loan, a lawnmower, a head of lettuce, or a college degree, you can get it more readily today with one of the helpful services of household finance.
Now we're about ready to resume play. A beautiful punt, 45 yards as measured from the line of scrimmage, but deadly accurate by Mike Eichscheid. Laid the ball out of bounds at the Green Bay 3-yard line, and the Packers take it there. 1st and 10. Ben Wilson, Donnie Anderson, the running backs, and we can expect to see one of those two getting the ball. Bart Starr, quarterback, gives it to Ben Wilson. He has a hole up the middle and goes right straight through to the 10-yard line. 10. A gain of 7 yards, and a big 7 yards, because it gives Bart Starr a little operating room. On 2nd and 3, Howie Williams came up to make the tackle for the Oakland Raiders. 2nd down and 3, and now the ball is out at the 10-yard line. Carroll Dale goes out wide to the left side as a single flanker. Boyd Dollars come in to play a tight end on the right side. Hand off to Donnie Anderson. Donnie Anderson again with good line blocking, has a hole to the left. The secondary closed up in a hurry as he went over left guard to take the ball to the 13-yard line. Tom Keating making the tackle for the Raiders. Now let's see whether or not it's enough for a first down. and 10.
Always a remarkable thing about the Packers is the way they quickly get off that football. And fundamental tackling, fundamental blocking, this team is so sound. In those last two games, the guards looked exceptionally sharp and quick, and Gail Gillingham and Jerry Kramer. Now they're ready to go with Bart Starr dropping back to throw a forward pass. Out to the left it goes. Completes to Carroll Dale. Carroll Dale is spun out of bounds along the sidelines by Willie Brown, the right cornerback, but not until he had taken the ball up across the 30-yard line. Ball just across the 30. It's a first down for Green Bay. So the Green Bay Packers, starting out in the hole on their own 3-yard line, have chalked up 2 first downs on this drive and are out now in far better field position, with ground available to call on their full repertoire of plays. And the handoff is to Ben Wilson. Wilson again with a fine block, cracks off left tackle, and shoots through across the 35 to be dropped on the 36 by Dan Connors, the middle linebacker for Oakland. So it's a 6-yard pickup, and it's 2nd and 4 on the 36-yard line. Green Bay getting very sharp line blocking. They're blocking right straight ahead. These are not pulling plays, but wedge blocking, and they are opening holes. End and flank are both out, with Carroll Dale set very wide to the right, Dowler out to the left side. 2nd down, 4 yards to go. And this time Donnie Anderson on a cross buck, starting from left halfback, cracks just to the right of center, and gets the ball out to around the 40, where Dan Connors was there again to bring him down. The ball just across the 40-yard line. That's very close to a first down, and they're going to bring the chains out now to measure. At a press conference the other day, Vince Lombardi talked about Donnie Anderson. He thinks he has done a tremendous job. He thinks he's an outstanding pass catcher, good athlete, and it's a first down for the Green Bay Packers, the 40. He said he's played under a lot of pressure because of the big bonus he signed for, but he is considering next year going to what he calls a 3-back backfield. And he said this is because he's got great outside speed, and Elijah Pitts will not play today, and Anderson, who he thinks can be a split end.
I'd like to be under the pressure of getting that kind of bonus, Tom.
You and me both.
Pressure I could live with. Carroll Dale goes out wide to the left. He's single flanker. Boyd Dowler split a bit. Now he tightens up on the tackle on the right side. He's about 2 yards away from the tackle. Quick throw over the middle. Juggle there and falls to the ground incomplete. Going for Mark Fleming, the tight end. It was a quick pop over the middle. Fleming had the ball in his hands but was juggling it. And when it finally dropped, it ruled an incomplete pass because he was never in possession of control. And one of the Raiders was shaken up on the play on the collision with Mark Fleming. That's Warren Powers, the left safety. So timeout is called on the field with the score, Green Bay 3, Oakland nothing. Roger Bird has come in to replace Warren Powers at the left safety position, as Powers is being assisted to the sidelines. He doesn't appear to be injured, but pretty well knocked out. It's a very groggy Warren Powers that makes his way to the bench with the assistance of a teammate and a trainer. But now play is about to be resumed with that incomplete pass. It is 2nd down and 10 yards to go for Green Bay at their 40-yard line. Have 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter of the game, with Green Bay out in front 3-0. This is Jack Drees with Tom Hedrick speaking to you from Miami, and it's the Super Bowl game, the champions of the American Football League against the champions of the NFL, the Green Bay Packers. Bart Starr, if he goes back to pass, gets away from the tackler and is running with the ball across the 50, down at the 45-yard line, and it'll be first down for Green Bay. Ben Davidson was in there on a big storming rush. And he banged into Starr, but Starr bounced off him, then rolled out to the left and went angling down near the sidelines to take the ball down to the Oakland 45-yard line.
That time it looked like a stunt might be on because Ben Davidson came to the inside. Keating was to go to the outside, and Starr scrambled that time around the left end and got that 15-yard pickup.
Flanker both out. Green Bay 1st and 10, 45 yards away from the Oakland goal line. The handoff is to the fullback, Ben Wilson. Once again, that wedge blocking up the middle, springs the hole, and Wilson straight ahead takes that ball down to the 39-yard line. Dan Connors, the middle linebacker, Dan Birdwell, the left tackle, combining to bring him down. The Green Bay Packers offensive line is really blowing out of there. Ken Bowman at center, Gail Gillingham and Jerry Kramer at the guards, Bob Skoronsky, Forrest Gregg at the tackles, and they're doing quite a job. Second down, 4 yards to go. The ball on the Oakland 39. Handoff this time to Donnie Anderson. Donnie Anderson squirts through the line and takes it down to the 35 where Tom Keating, the right tackle, shifted over to the left side as he pursued the ball carrier and brought him down. So now the ball is at the 35. Just short of a first down. If they get to the other side of the 35, they'll have a first down. It's about a foot to go.
Green Bay has already picked up 7 first and 10s, and right now the Raiders have 2 passing, running, and 1 on a penalty.
Tight line formation indicating a running attempt for this first down. They've got about a foot and a half to go to get it. Anderson and Wilson, the running backs, and it's Donnie Anderson taking the handoff. Head down. He shoots into virtually no hole at all, but was able to pop across that 35. Did he pop far enough? Tom Keating and Dan Connors were blocking up the hole, and they're going to have to measure to see whether or not a first down was made by Green Bay. It was very close. Next week, it's the Pro Bowl from the Los Angeles Coliseum. The All-Stars from the Eastern and Western Conferences of the NFL over most of these CBS radio network stations. Now it's a matter of inches. It's 4th down and about 2 inches to go. Well, Vince Lombardi, how much of a gamble is 2 inches to the Green Bay Packers? And they go back into their huddle to go for it. 4th down, 2 inches to go. The ball just across the 35. Anderson and Wilson, the running backs. Bart Starr now gets down over the center. He'll run a quarterback sneak this time, Tom. Now he gives it to Wilson. Off tackle, big hole, and then Wilson goes all the way to the 31 for a first down with plenty to spare before Willie Brown made the stop. The Oakland defensive line and linebackers expecting a play up the middle, all pinched in, and left the outside wide open. Green Bay Packer blocking on that side helped them on their journey by blocking them in, and the first down was easily recorded. 1st and 10. The ball just inside the 32-yard line. Single flanker is wide to the right as the gun sounds. There's the end of the first period with the score Green Bay 3, Oakland nothing.
And I were talking about possessions in the first quarter. Green Bay, this includes all of punting, had 23 runs of the football, and the Oakland Raiders had 12, nearly 2-1.
And Green Bay still has the football. The score, however, is still only 3-0. So the Raiders, despite the fact that the Packers have dominated the play thus far, are still within easy striking range. But the Packers are getting close again. They're 32 yards away with a first down as Bart Starr goes back to throw. Out to the left flat to Donnie Anderson. He makes the catch, tries to cut around, but is rolled out of bounds at the sidelines by Gus Otto, the right side linebacker. Donnie Anderson, the halfback, getting out into a one-on-one situation with the linebacker, the advantage all to the passing team, and Bart Starr made the most of it. He fired one out there, completed and out of bounds at the 25, where it will be 2nd down and 3 yards to go. A pickup of 7 on the play. Now the Packers come out of their huddle, moving up over the ball, with Carroll Dale going out to the right side, splitting out in that direction, and Boyd Dollar wide left. Ben Wilson and Donnie Anderson have been the running backs since the start of the game for Green Bay. Again, the long count by Bart Starr. He gives the ball to Ben Wilson. Wilson has that hole off back into the left once again and plows down inside the 15-yard line before Willie Brown made the stop. The line blocking of the Green Bay Packers is something to behold. They are blowing those Oakland Raiders defenders right out of the picture. Ben Wilson, running to daylight, looks like he's running to the Great Plains. He has really got some holes to operate through. So that puts the ball now at the 14. It's first down, 10 yards to go from 14 yards away. Now is Bart Starr ready to go? He's tugged behind his center, Ken Bowman. Again, a somewhat long count, drops straight back to throw. Donnie Anderson out to the left flat, has it, and drops it at the 10-yard line. That's the time when receivers drop passes when they're all alone, as Donnie Anderson was. And so sure that they're going to catch the pass that they begin to look too soon to see where the defenders are. And taking their eye off the ball that split second early, it goes in and out of their hands.
A moment ago, he got a 7-yard completion on it, throwing the ball in the far flat to Anderson. That time he came back with it again. That's one of the many reasons Bart Starr is a winning quarterback. He files away information, comes back with it when he needs it, and that time Donnie simply dropped the ball around the 10.
Second down and 10 yards to go from 14 yards out. Single flanker is out this time. Wide to the right. Running backs in normal position. Starr back to throw once more. He's rushed. Caught. The Raiders have come through to nail Mark Starr. And they've got him back around the 24-yard line. Ike Lassiter coming in from left end, and Tom Keating the right tackle. Stormed in there and got Mark Starr down. The contact established at the 24-yard line. A loss of 10. It'll be third down and 20 yards to go.
That's what the Raiders like to do. They've been great this year at dropping quarterback for losses. They've dropped them 67 times altogether. In the championship game, Bart Starr was thrown 8 times for losses in that ball game. That is one hope the Oakland Raiders had hoped in this ball game, is they could dump quarterback Bart Starr several times behind the line of scrimmage and then take over with their ground attack and their kicking game.
That should have a great psychological effect on Oakland, too. I'm sure they were beginning to think they could do nothing against these Green Bay Packers, but that time they did it and did it beautifully. Third and 20. Starr going back to throw. Up the middle, and he passes complete to his tight end, Mark Fleming, who gathers it in at the 13-yard line and is downed immediately by Roger Bird. So it'll be a field goal attempt by Don Chandler. For it is fourth down and 9. He'll be kicking from the 20-yard line. They haven't spotted it yet, but the almost standard distance of field goal attempts is 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And so, while Green Bay has been dominating Oakland, they have not put across 6 points on them. For the second time now, they must settle for a field goal. A 20-yard attempt. There's the snap. Ball down, kick on its way, and it is Radar right down the middle. Timeout is called on the field with the score Green Bay 6, Oakland nothing.
To a hiker, it's a longer walk to the ladies. It's a longer talk to women in. It's a longer tent to a smoker. Longer tent. Deluxe Lane Kent. It's longer. Deluxe Lane Kent. Much longer. Deluxe Lane Kent. Miles longer. More taste, fine tobacco. To a singer. It's a longer note to a villain. It's a longer gloat to a bloodhound. It's a longer scent to a smoker. Longer tint.
Now there's another great Kent. New Deluxe Length Kent. Longer than king size. Gives you more taste, more fine tobacco. Now long cigarette smokers can say, to a smoker, it's a Kent.
And now we're ready for the kickoff. Green Bay's Don Chandler has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Dave Grayson, Larry Todd are the deep men. Chandler puts it high in the air. Wind at his back now. And it drops on the 2-yard line to Grayson. He's back across the 10, out to the left, now to the 20. And still swinging near the sidelines. He's caught along the 25 and rolled out of bounds at the 26 by Tom Crutcher. So it'll be first and 10 for the Oakland Raiders on their own 26-yard line. Well, certainly now as we move into the second quarter, 12 minutes and 42 seconds left before the end of the first half, Oakland has discovered several things that will not work and a few that will against the Green Bay Packers. So Darryl LaMonica now is trying to start a drive. They are 6 points down. The score is 6-0 Green Bay. LaMonica gives the ball to Pete Banashek. Banashek trying it wide to the right is upended along the line of scrimmage and dropped at the 27 and 28 by Tom Brown. Oakland has persisted in running wide against Green Bay. Green Bay has persisted in blocking those attempts. That was a gain of a yard. Gain of 2 yards, call it. It'll be 2nd and 8 on the 28th.
Offensively speaking, Bart Starr today is 5 for 8 passing, had one of those drops, so really he has done his job about 3 out of 4 times, which indicates what a highly accurate quarterback he is.
Bill Miller wide to the left. Bolitnikoff wide to the right. Roll out by LaMonica to the right. He whips one to the sidelines to Bolitnikoff. Is hit just as he threw it by Willie Davis. And Henry Jordan was moving right after him on the rush. The hurried throw is incomplete to Bolitnikoff along the sidelines. So it'll be second down, or third down rather, and 8 yards to go, still on the 28-yard line. Darryl LaMonica has been looking at nothing but tough third down situations against Green Bay, and he's got another one here. Bill Miller goes out wide to the left side. Billy Cannon is set down the left side at tight end. LaMonica going straight back this time. Is rushed and dropped. Selnick came through there and spun him down, and right behind him was Willie Davis to make the tackle, and LaMonica is thrown for a loss back at the 19.
You recall last year in the Super Bowl game against Kansas City, the Packers and Bart Starr in particular made the big call on third down. Today, Starr is 3 for 4 on the paydown. And the Oakland quarterback, Darryl LaMonica, right now is 0 for 3 as Mike Eyeshide goes back to kick.
Tom Brown and Willie Wood are deep for Green Bay, waiting for the punt. Eyeshide moves into the ball, rises very high in the air. Willie Wood waits for it. He's going to run it. He takes it along the 34. There were a swarm of Raiders around him as he elected to run that back, and he got it out to the 37-yard line before he was stopped. Bob Cruz coming in to make the tackle. And so Green Bay takes over 1st and 10 at their own 37. The score in the game is 6-0. Green Bay on a pair of field goals by Don Chandler, leading the Oakland Raiders with 11 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the second quarter of the game. Carroll Dale coming out wide to the left, Boyd Dollar out to the right. Wilson and Anderson, the running backs. Bart Starr at quarterback drops straight back. He's looking for someone to throw to. Floats one over the middle of Boyd Dollar and all alone. He crosses the 10, the 5, and goes into the end zone for a touchdown. 63 yards. Time today, the Oakland secondary was roundly fooled on that play. And Boyd Dollar got behind into an all-alone situation. There wasn't a defender within 10 yards of him when he caught that pass, and he ran the rest of the way for the touchdown. And now Don Chandler will try for the extra point. Waiting for the snap. There it is. The kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Timeout is called on the field with the score. Green Bay 13, Oakland nothing.
Right now, do you have a problem with bills, installment contracts, or other money obligations that have gotten just a little out of hand? Need an answer? Get a bill payer loan from Household Finance, the oldest and largest company of its kind. With a bill payer loan from HFC, you can clear up everything at once, then have just one payment a month to Household. That's lower than the monthly total you're now paying. Household recommends never borrow money needlessly. But when you need money to pay bills, clear up installment contracts, or meet other money obligations, get a bill payer loan from the company that tells you in advance what your loan will cost. The company that says, before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost. That's HFC Household Finance, where every year over 2.5 million people borrow with confidence.
And now, with a 13-0 lead, Don Chandler prepares to kick off to the Oakland Raiders with Dave Grayson and Larry Todd awaiting the kickoff. 10 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the second quarter of the game as Chandler rides into the ball, sends it on its way. Todd moves over, takes it on the goal line, out to the 5. There's the 10. He's across the 15, gets out to the 20, bounces into the first Green Bay Packer, and is dropped. Island coming in to make the tackle, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Oakland Raiders on their own 22-yard line. Here at Dixon, Pete Banashek in the running back positions, move into the huddle. Politnikov comes out of the huddle, swings around to go wide to the left side. Bill Miller, the split end, is going out wide on that side as well, putting both wide receivers to the left. Ball on the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. LaMonica gives the ball to Banashek. Banashek on a cross butt, hits the right side of the Packer line, finds a hole there, and finally is stopped by Dave Robinson as he gets that ball out to the 27, 28-yard line. Ball placed down at the 27, a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Kind of interesting to note that Green Bay has picked up 10 1st and 10s. The Raiders have 3, but Starr passing again today has been a big factor in the first half. He has gone 6 for 9.
Second down, 5 yards to go on their own 27-yard line now for the Oakland Raiders. Again, the 2 wide receivers are set out to the left side. LaMonica gives the ball to Banashek. Banashek again on the cross butt, hitting just to the right of center from the left halfback starting position. Gets across the 30 to be dropped by Willie Davis, the left end. Ball is spotted at the 32. going to have to measure now to see whether or not it's a first down. It's a gain of around 5 yards, and that was what was needed. The chain is extended, placed down, and there's about 6 inches left. So it'll be third down. About 6 inches to go for a first down. The ball just short of the 32-yard line as the Raiders get back into their huddle. Green Bay now. Defense set. Moves up into a tight line formation. Ready to block up the middle. Ray Nitschke overshifting a little bit to the right. The linebackers favoring their right side. The handoff is given over to Dixon. He has the first down as he gets a nice block on the corner and cuts inside the corner man. Takes the ball to the 40-yard line before Willie Davis, the left end for Green Bay, was able to catch it. Tom Brown helping out on the play, and the ball is at the 40, first and 10, and we take 10 seconds out now for station identification. This is the CBS Radio Network.
590 WROW Music, Albany, New York, 4 o'clock.
Ready to go now. LaMonica taking the snap from center, throwing a quick pass to Biletnikoff out on the right flat and nailed immediately by Herb Adderley, who pile drives the shoulder into him but couldn't dislodge the football. And the gain is at the 44-yard line. So it's a pickup of 4 yards, second down and 6. Oakland's ball on their own 44. The score in the ball game is 13-0 Green Bay with a little less than 8.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. The Oakland Raiders in their huddle. Biletnikoff going out wide to the left. Both wide receivers are set out there. Bill Miller, the split end, playing in a slot position on the left side as well. And suddenly the Oakland Raiders stand up and get into a discussion with Jack West. Tom?
I think the center, Otto, that time had a lot of perspiration on his hands. He wanted somebody to do something about the football and get a new ball in there. That's exactly what's happened. And it's kind of interesting to note one of the defensive players, Dan Birdwell, used to be a center in this league, but had a perspiration problem on his hands and had to be made then a defensive lineman.
Now they're ready to go with a dry, fresh football. Again, the split end and flanker are both set out to the left side. LaMonica going back to throw. He arches one up the middle, and it's a fine grab down there at the 40-yard line by Bill Miller in Packer territory. Dave Robinson, Willie Wood combining on the tackle. But he caught that one in a crowd and came down with the football on the Packer 40, and it's another first down for Oakland. And Oakland, for the first time in this ball game, is putting something together. It's noteworthy that they quit running wide. Their running game has been from tackle to tackle and cross-bucking just to the right or left of the middle of the line. And that running game has been gaining, and it's been setting up their passing game, and they now have it first and 10 on the Packer 40. Hendon flanker out to the right side this time. Bootleg by LaMonica. Screen pass. Gets it to Dixon. Dixon drops the ball, and it is an incomplete pass. Ron Kostelnik was over there covering on the play. Dixon, however, was not hit by Kostelnik. As he caught the ball, he started again to look around to see where the defenders were, taking his eyes off the ball a moment too soon. Incomplete. Second and 10 on the 40. Better than 7 minutes left to play in the first half of this game. Green Bay 13, Oakland nothing. Biletnikoff and Bill Miller both going out wide to the left. Second and long yardage, passing down. Let's see if LaMonica does go to the air. And the blitz is on. Nitschke trying to get through there, but they protect him. He throws that ball, completes it to Banaszak. Banaszak banged out of bounds by Leroy Caffey down at the 25-yard line. Green Bay throwing the blitz at Oakland for the first time this afternoon. Had Oakland ready for it. They picked it up beautifully. LaMonica had plenty of time as he got complete protection. Threw the ball to his running back, Pete Banaszak, and it's first and 10 on the 25.
Probably thing they'll resort to right now, but Oakland likes to do that. They like to swing past the halfback and run one-on-one on the linebacker, and Banaszak has got fairly good speed.
And then flanker both out. Handoff this time to Banaszak once again. Banaszak again on that crossbuck, which has been effective against Green Bay in the second quarter. Doesn't make too much this time, but did get a gain as he took the ball to the 23. So it'll be second down and 8 yards to go from 23 yards away. Oakland for the first time mounting a scoring threat against the Green Bay Packers. And if they can pop a 6-pointer across here and add the extra point, they will really be back in this ball game. The score is 13-0 against them. Now Biletnikoff and Miller both go wide to the right. LaMonica looks over their Packer defense. Has a fairly long count, now drops back to throw. Sends it out there for Miller. Miller catches on the slide and is in for the touchdown. Bill Miller getting behind Dave Robinson, the linebacker. Grabbed that ball, cheated along the sidelines, holding his balance to keep from going out of bounds, and went in the end zone for the score. And we've got us a ball game on our hands. 23-yard touchdown. George Bland on the try for the extra point. LaMonica holds. The kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Green Bay 13, Oakland 7.
Light up your life. Torino. Light up your life. Torino. 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 Torino.
With Ford's newest bright idea, Torino. Torino, 6 new luxury models, including hardtops, sedans, and convertibles that come with a full 116-inch wheelbase. Torino, with its longer wheelbase.
Light up your life. Torino. Light up your life. Torino. 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 Torino.
Now, light up your life with Ford's newest bright idea, Torino. Torino, 6 new luxury models, including hardtops, sedans, and convertibles that come with a full 116-inch wheelbase. Torino, with its longer wheelbase, more room, and smoother ride, is more car than 16 higher-priced competing models. Torino, another better idea from Ford.
Light up your life. Torino. Light up your life. Torino. 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 Torino.
And now for the first time today, with the score 13-7, following that Oakland touchdown, the Green Bay Packers are going to receive a kickoff. Let's see if Eichscheid tries Travis Williams. He sends a low skidding kick over near the sidelines and is grabbed there by one of the blocking men up front, and he is out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Tommy Crutcher grabbed the football, one of the blocking screen, since it wasn't about to get back to the deep receivers, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers, the ball on the 15.
Bill Miller, a Miami boy, is having a great first half. He's latched on to 4 aerials, and that included that 23-yard bomb, and there's nothing like coming back home in the Orange Bowl and having a big ball game.
Now Green Bay up over the ball. Nose of the ball just short of their own 15-yard line. Bart Starr ready to go. He has an end flanker both out on opposite sides. He gives the ball on a handoff to Wilson, his fullback. Wilson is caught and thrown for a loss. Out of bounds at the 14-yard line by Dan Connors, the middle linebacker. And I think that might have been all that Oakland needed, was to score in this ball game. They had been playing an obviously tight, nervous game. But suddenly they succeeded in throwing Bart Starr for a loss on one occasion, were able to mount a drive and get all the way into pay dirt on another. And while it's a cliche that's overused, this thing does indeed look like a brand new ball game. 2nd down now, and 11 yards to go from their own 14-yard line. Green Bay ready to put the ball in play. Starr goes back to throw. The rush is on, and he's filled up the 4-yard line by Tom Keating. Tom Keating going through the gap. They had an absolute free search on Bart Starr. No one laid a finger on it. The connection was made on the 5, and that ruled his forward progress stopped. So the Packers now must put the ball in play on their own 5.
Great play that time. As we talked about Keating, Keating was playing head up with his center. Bowman made a move to the left, moved quickly to the right. His quickness showed you why he could do the job right there. And he fired in on the quarterback. And Oakland is making a defensive adjustment. Instead of playing a 4-man front and a 3-man front, many times they've got a linebacker up there, and they're not stunning their middle linebacker, Dan Connor.
So it's third down and 20 yards to go on their own 5-yard line. Green Bay in a deep hole, as the Oakland Raiders have suddenly shaken off the jitters that have accompanied them through this game and are going after the pass. And Wilson on the handoff, swinging wide to the left, is held to a short gain. He's dropped at the 8-yard line by, again, Tom Keating. Tom Keating has a bad Achilles tendon, and he is limping slightly as he walks toward the bench. The Packers are run out of downs. He would be pure murder if he was down. Ball at the 7-yard line, 4th down. Green Bay will have to punt. Donnie Anderson will be deep in his own end zone to handle that chore. The deep men down for the punt. Roger Bird, number 21, and the tight end Warren Wells, or the split end Warren Wells, number 81. Donnie Anderson deep in the outer reaches of the end zone. Gets the pass from center, puts a beauty high in the air, spiraling it out, and it's taken on the Oakland 49 by Roger Bird. On his run back, he gets it down to the Green Bay 40 before he's nailed by John Rouser. And so the Oakland Raiders take over again in great field position.
That's what Bird does. He's not a fancy type punt return man. He catches the football. He doesn't go to the outside. He runs straight at you. And they were able to average 12 and 6/10 of a yard per run back this year. By far the best average in the AFL.
So the Oakland Raiders, 40 yards away, have it 1st and 10. Both wide receivers are set to the right side. Dixon and Banishak are the running backs, and Banishak takes this one. He's trying to sweep, and is caught along the 40-yard line by Ray Nitschke. Nitschke, the middle linebacker, chasing out on the play. Got to the ball carrier and dropped him along the 40-yard line. Virtually no gain on the play. It's 2nd down, about 9.5 yards to go, still on the 40-yard line, and I suspect that Oakland ran that play at Green Bay just to keep them honest on defense, because it has not been working against the Packers. Their stuff between the tackles has been the running plays that have gotten them the yardage. And now they have both wide men set to the left on a 2nd and long yardage situation. LaMonica goes back to fake the pass. It's a draw, however, and Dixon with the handoff cuts to the left side, bounces off the first tackler, tries to cut back, but is dropped on the 39. Stop made by Tom Brown, number 40, and Ron Kostelnik, the left tackle. So the ball now is at the 39-yard line, where it's 3rd down and 9 yards to go. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the 2nd quarter of the game, with Green Bay in front 13-7. And the Oakland Raiders have the ball 39 yards away on a big 3rd down situation for Darryl LaMonica. Both wide receivers set to the right side. An obvious passing down, and LaMonica goes straight back. He's getting good protection once again. Throws the ball up the middle too high. The target on that one was your Dixon, his fullback, but it went over his head and on beyond into the ground, incomplete. So it's 4th down, and in comes George Blanda. They'll be trying a field goal, and this one will be a field goal attempt from 46 yards away. LaMonica to hole. Actually, they're giving him a little more yardage behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to try it from 47 yards out. Ball is placed down. Blanda puts it high in the air. Too high. It's dropping short. Willie Wood makes it a catch along the 1-yard line. Is in along the 5 and dropped at the 8. Willie Wood must have thought the backspin on that ball would have kept it from bouncing into the end zone, where it would have been 1st and 10 on the 20, because the kick was overly high and was dropping almost straight down with the wind against the kick, and so he grabbed it on the 1, brought it out to the 8-yard line, and the Packers in a hole once again, take it over 1st and 10 at that point. Comes out of the huddle, sending Carroll Dale wide to the left side. Boy Dollar split slightly to the right. Anderson and Wilson, the running backs. And Starr gives the ball to Donnie Anderson, and he shoots into the line on the right side on a quick opening play and is able to nudge his way out to the area of the 10-yard line. Ball is right on the 10. Dan Connors, the middle linebacker for Oakland, coming in on the stop. So it's second down and 8 yards to go. The ball on their own 10-yard line. And the whistle blows the ball dead for the moment for the 2-minute warning. Remember, next week, it's the Pro Bowl from Los Angeles, the NFL All-Stars from the Eastern and Western Conferences. And we'll be bringing you that one over most of these CBS radio network stations. Second down, 8 yards to go. The ball on their own 10-yard line. The Green Bay Packers against the Oakland Raiders. Oakland very edgy and unable to mount much of anything in the way of an attack, but having a defense able to contain a rampaging band of Green Bay Packers. Finally got untracked in the second quarter to put a touchdown on the board, and the score is 13-7 in favor of Green Bay at the moment. Tom?
Thing about the Packers today, in the first half, they've had a balanced attack. The line has fired out very well and done a good job blocking, and Bart Starr's had a good day throwing in the first half, going 6 for 9. Balance has been one of their keynotes. They like to mix it up real well. The Oakland Raiders had greater success, as you pointed out, throwing to Bill Miller. Bill Miller caught that 23-yard touchdown pass, and he's already caught 4 aerials today. But it's obvious the Oakland Raiders cannot get wide on the Green Bay Packers because of their outstanding lateral pursuit.
Now Green Bay ready to put the ball in play. That short gain put them out on the 10-yard line. Second down, 8 yards to go. 2 minutes left to play in the first half. The score, 13-7 in favor of the Packers as they send Carroll Dale wide to the left, but keep Boyd Dollar in fairly tight on the right side. Bart Starr looks over the defense. He hands the ball off to Ben Wilson, and Wilson trying to cut through the left. Oh, Travis Williams has come in. Cut through the left, skids as he makes his cut up around the 15-yard line and is dropped at that point, some 3 yards short of a first down. Howie Williams coming in to sort of pounce on him. So it'll be 3rd and 3 from the 15-yard line. The speedy Travis Williams now teamed up with Ben Wilson at running back. He's come in and replaced Danny Anderson. Starr ready to go once again. 3rd and 3. That's kind of tricky yardage. Certainly can't be called short yardage. He gives it to Travis Williams, and Williams trying to go wide to the right is caught short of a first down. He is dropped by Dan Connors, number 55, and Dan Birdwell, number 53, the middle linebacker and left tackle, respectively. And the Packers are out of downs as that play is stopped on the 16.
Again, the ringleader was middle linebacker Dan Connors. He's had an outstanding second quarter. The Oakland Raider defense has gotten better this year because Connors has really come to the fore. He's become an aggressive linebacker. He was mad by what he read in a newspaper and a magazine before the season that the Oakland Raider linebackers were adequate. They called him adequate, and he's had an outstanding year, good enough to make the All-Star team.
Now Donnie Anderson is deep in punt formation. Roger Bird, Warren Wells are the safety man. Anderson puts one very high in the air. Fair catch signal given by Roger Bird. He fumbles the ball. And it looked like Green Bay recovered. The Packers have the football. Dick Taft down under the ball. Recovered it for Green Bay as a fumbled fair catch. Gives the ball to the Packers at the Oakland 45. Well, they say you cannot make a mistake against Green Bay. We have 23 seconds to find out. That's the time remaining, and the Packers call for a timeout to hold the clock dead. That's the second timeout Green Bay has had. So they have one remaining. Or is that the second? Let's see. No, the first one, Oakland had a timeout for the injured player. I think that's the first Green Bay timeout. 23 seconds left on the clock, and Green Bay has the ball with a recovered fumble on the Oakland 45-yard line. Max McGee is coming into the ball game. Mark Fleming, the tight end, is going out, so Bart Starr is going to get an additional wide receiver. Max McGee, you may recall, who caught only 3 forward passes through the entire 1966 season, turned up the pass-catching hero in the Super Bowl triumph of Green Bay over Kansas City a year ago, when he caught 7 in that game, 2 of them for touchdowns.
Defensive change right now for the Raiders. Coming out as Bird and coming in as Dave Grayson. He's moved in this year as a safety man. He used to be an all-league cornerback.
McGee and Carroll Dale are both set to the left side. Boyd Dollar out to the right. Bart Starr back to throw. And he's in trouble. Gets away from the rusher. Floats one down there for McGee. And it is incomplete, almost intercepted. Howie Williams grabbed for that football but couldn't quite hold on to it. So it's an incomplete forward pass, stopping the clock with 16 seconds left. Tom?
That time Starr tried a floater play, and I think one of the reasons Howie Williams had difficulty, the ball was not thrown too hard. But another big reason, I think, again, that quarterback Bart Starr filed away that long pass play in the first quarter play when he came back and threw that particular pass route. And the reason now the Oakland Raiders have brought in Dave Grayson, they realize right now the Packers really have 3 wide receivers, and Grayson does a great job one-on-one.
Now they're ready to go once again. They flooded the receivers to the left side. There's Starr's pass, and it's outside to Boyd Dollar. Dollar going for the ball down around the Oakland 35, couldn't get to it. And it is incomplete to make it 3rd and 10 at the 45. And 12 seconds show as left in the game. And the scoreboard clock is official here at the Orange Bowl. An electronic device is geared in with the timekeeper on the field to the scoreboard clock, so that time is accurate. 3rd and 10. Bart Starr now getting down in the huddle. Oakland deploying in virtually a prevent defense, trying to keep them from bombing into a score before the half ends. Dale and Dollar coming out to the left side. McGee set over to the right side. Donnie Anderson has come back into the ball game now in the backfield. There, it's for Dollar, and Dollar makes the catch at the 36 and is knocked out of bounds by Grayson. Dave Grayson right behind Dollar, unable to effect the course of the ball or the catch of it. Did, however, get the ball player out of bounds at the 36. 6 seconds left on the clock. 4th down and a yard to go. Ball on the 36-yard line. So this is pretty close to being the last play. Let's see if they're going to go for a 3-pointer. Don Chandler has come in. Bart Starr will hold, and it'll be a 43-yard field goal attempt. The wind is with him. The kick is on its way. Green Bay couldn't take maximum advantage of the fumble recovery and indeed couldn't get very close to the Raiders' goal line. They got close enough for Don Chandler. And now it's halftime here at the Orange Bowl, where the World Championship game between the Green Bay Packers and the Oakland Raiders stands at 16-7 in favor of Green Bay, with half a game yet to be played. And here in our broadcast booth is Pete Rozelle, professional football's commissioner. And this game is a bit different than last year's, Pete. Certainly it can be said that the Oakland Raiders got over their jitters, which seemed to be evident, and turned this into quite a ball game beginning with the second quarter.
They have, Jack. Actually, Green Bay has a bigger lead at halftime this year at 16-7 than they had at 14-10 over Kansas City a year ago. However, as you point out, it has been a different ball game. I think that Oakland has been extremely impressive, particularly the long drive, 75, 76 yards for the touchdown, and then the blocking of their offensive line, their protection for Lamonic on his passing, I think has been a major factor, too, giving him the time to hit Bill Miller in particular.
I was certainly impressed with the way Oakland picked up the blitz the one time Green Bay tried it, and actually, you might say, gave Lamonic more time than usual, despite all the pressure upon him. Well, we're getting closer to the eventual complete merger of the two leagues, Pete. Is there work yet to be done, being done, or is it just a matter of waiting for the time to come?
Well, we've accomplished just about everything. In fact, everything we did set out to do when we announced the merger on June 8, 1966, Jack. I would say we're about 90% merged now. Really, the basic thing remaining would be 1970 alignment, something we cannot work on right now. But other than that, we're set. During the next 18 months, we'll be giving thought, and our committees will, to what our alignment will be and our scheduling pattern during the regular season of 70 and beyond.
Well, Pete, the gridiron is filled with band members, and there are lots of pretty girls down there. I thank you for coming in, and you can go watch the entertainment.
Thank you, Jack.
Thanks very much. Of both the American and National Football League. Halftime, the score, Packers 16, Oakland Raiders 7.
We were talking about Johnny Roush.
But any time you talk about the Oakland Raiders, you ought to start with Al Davis. They call him on a genius on the West Coast. He's put together a fine football team. At last, he's picked up a lot of his starters, 6 of those men to be exact, on waivers. That's something that normally does not happen. Then Roush, he had courage to go for a quarterback named Darryl LaMonica, an unproven commodity, and he gave away one of the finest split ends ever in the AFL in Art Powell. And the very first year it pays off big with an AFL championship and a record of 13-1. So a halftime score as the Oakland Raiders are huddling at the 40. The Green Bay Packers back at the 5-yard line, awaiting the kick. It's 16-7. The Packers lead. Back again to Jack Reed.
Thank you, Tom Hedrick. This half, of course, the options are reversed. Oakland won the initial toss and elected to receive. Now the option goes to Green Bay in the second half. They have elected to receive. Travis Williams and Herb Adderley are deep with slight expectation of receiving the football with the success on runbacks enjoyed by Travis Williams. Most teams have been kicking low scooters along the ground, hoping that someone of the forward blocking screen, not adept at handling the ball or running with it, will scoop it up instead of the streaky Mr. Williams. The ball has not been yet brought out to the 40-yard line to be teed up. The Oakland are waiting for it, and Herb Adderley and Travis Williams are standing side by side down near their own goal posts in a bit of a free kickoff discussion. The score, Green Bay 16, Oakland Raiders 7. Last year, this was the moment at which the Green Bay Packers exploded in the second half against Kansas City, and in a very short time, it was no longer much of a ball game. The great difference in this contest today is the fact that it is the Oakland Raiders who seem to gather strength and gather effectiveness as the game went along. And they certainly should be optimistic over their play in the second quarter. If there is to be the furtive turning point searched up, it might very well be the moment when the Oakland Raiders broke through and spilled Bart Starr for a loss. From that moment on, Oakland looked like a different football team. Let's see if they make a difference in this second half. The kick is on its way and in the air. Travis Williams takes it on the 9. He's out to the 20, the 25, and boom! Is nailed at the 28-yard line. Bob Cruz coming in on the stop, and Dwayne Benson. Benson with a neckside tackle literally had Travis Williams' legs run out from under his head as he went flop to the ground. And the ball is spotted at the 27 where it is 1st and 10 Green Bay. So the Oakland Raiders throw the gauntlet at Green Bay by kicking to Travis Williams to start the second half. Now let's see what happens. Boyd Dollar is out wide to the left. Anderson and Wilson, the running backs. And it's Ben Wilson taking the handoff on a straight power plunge right up the middle, and he pops his way to about the 30-yard line where he ran into Dan Connors, the middle linebacker. So it's a gain of 3 to make it 2nd and 7. The thing I've noticed from a defensive standpoint, the Oakland Raiders, instead of playing a 4-man front, are playing 5 men up there because it's a simple situation. Green Bay a lot the second quarter. Now the third quarter is playing 2 ends in tight. And instead of playing a front four of a 4-3, they're now going to a 5-man front with a linebacker up front to pick up. Dowell is put very slightly to the left. Earl Dale is wide to the right. 2nd and 7. Quick throw. Goes over the middle, complete to the tight end, Marv Fleming, who's tackled as he gets up to about the 37-yard line by Willie Brown, the right halfback. Ball at the 37. It's close to a first down, but not quite close enough. They've got a short yard to go. They've got to get just across that 37-yard line for a first down. So it's 3rd, call it a yard on the 37. Ball just short of the 37, actually. Harold Dale swinging out wide to the right side. Tight end Marv Fleming is set on the right side. Fowler becomes a split end to the left. 3rd and short yardage. Bart Starr gives the ball to his fullback, Ben Wilson. Wilson shoots up and is knocked down on the 36-yard line, short of a first down, and the Oakland Raiders have held the Green Bay Packers to downs once again. Tackle that time, again, Willie Brown. The last 3 times that Green Bay has had the football at the close of the second half, they could not record a first down. The last time, of course, they were able to negotiate a field goal on 4th down, which made the score 16-7 with only a second left in the half. But now, once again, they've been held for down. The ball is on the 36. Donnie Anderson back in punt formation. Anderson puts the ball high in the air. Going back for it is Warren Wells. Wells fumbles the ball. Shoots after it along the ground. Let's see if he retrieved it. Packers were in there as well, going for that loose football. Travis Williams, operating on the special team, was down there, but he couldn't get it. The ball remains in possession of the Oakland Raiders. The fumble was recovered, and it'll be 1st and 10 for them at the 32. So Oakland getting the ball for the first time in the second half. Green Bay could not make a first down against them after taking the opening kickoff. Here they go with both wide receivers set out to the left side. Paletnikoff and Miller. And the handoff goes to Dixon. You're Dixon, the fullback, with a big hole in the middle of the line. Plows up the field and tackles, but his legs turning and drags the tackler with him to take it up to the 46. That was Tom Brown getting the free ride. First down. 1st and 10 on the 46-yard line for Oakland.
This fella's so big and strong, Hugh Dixon. You can hit him at the line of scrimmage, and a linebacker can't drop him. He used to be a tight end for 3 years at Denver, and as far as physical strength is concerned, Panazak, Hugh Dixon, Clement Daniels when he's in there are very strong for the Raiders.
Ready to put the ball in play with 2 wide receivers to the right and a wingback to the left, and a handoff to Hero Dixon once again. He tries to swing wide this time, is upended as he tries to turn the corner. Lionel Aldridge came in and took the first shot at him to knock him off balance. And Bob Jeter came in to put him down. And the ball has now been moved out to the 44-yard line. A loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 12. I guess that Oakland was just trying another shot at the wide run to see if Packer adjustments would make it more effective. It did not. 2nd and 12 now. And Darryl LaMonica goes straight back to throw. He pitches one over the middle. It's in and out of the hands of Billy Cannon, the tight end, and hits the ground incomplete. Bob Jeter covering on the play.
It's been kind of interesting to note that only twice in the ball game has quarterback Darryl LaMonica thrown to his number 1 bomb threat, Billy Cannon, who's caught 10 touchdown passes for the year. Billy has a halfback speed. He's up to 220 pounds right now. He's always had good hands. He said the biggest adjustment he has had, moving from a halfback to tight end, would be his blocking, which he has picked up.
Both wide receivers are set to the right side. 3rd and long yardage. 12 yards to go for a first down. LaMonica rolls out this time, sprinting out to the right. There's the flip downfield, and it is incomplete. The pass intended for Pete Banachek, broken up by Tom Brown, who batted that ball out of Banachek's hands, and the Oakland Raiders run out of downs. It'll be 4th down on their own 44-yard line. Willie Wood goes back with Tom Brown as the deep men for the Green Bay Packers to receive the punt from Mike Eichheit. Eichheit kicking against the wind. He is dropped deep in punt formation. A long pass from center is a good one. He rides into the ball, spirals one downfield where it's taken by Willie Wood. He's going to try to run it, and just as he catches the ball at the 20, he is hit and driven back. Making that stop was Bob Cruz. Timeout is called on the field with the score Green Bay 16 and Oakland 7. Now we're ready to resume play. The line of scrimmage has been set at the 17-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers on their own 17. Johnny Anderson and Ben Wilson in the running back positions. The end and flanker are both set out on either side of the line of scrimmage. Arch down, a draw play gives to Ben Wilson, and he's got a big hole up the middle across the 25 to the 30. They're out on the 31-yard line. Stop made by Howie Williams, the right safety for Oakland. So it's a first down for Green Bay. Ball out on the 31. First down recorded by the Packers in 5 series of downs. This one, of course, still alive. Ball on their own 31, 1st and 10. Carroll Dale coming out as a single flanker wide to the left. Bart Starr barking out the signals. He gives the ball to Donnie Anderson. The Packer sweep is on. He comes around the corner, cuts inside the blockers at the 35, gets out to about the 39, where he's hauled down by the left side linebacker, Bill Lasky. So the Packers come up with their wanted sweep and move it out to the 39 for a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. A little better than 9.5 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Packers 16, Oakland 7. Again, the end and flanker are both split out. Starr is ready to go. He gives the ball to Ben Wilson, his fullback. Wilson, on a quick opening shot into the right side of the line, just to the right of center, is able to edge across to around the 41 or 42, where Roger Bird came in to make the tackle along with Dan Connors, the middle linebacker. This is going to be pretty tight for a first down. They're bringing the chains across the field now to measure and see whether Green Bay has chalked up a second one on this drive. The line is spread out. Ball is placed down. Jack West, the referee, takes a close look at it, and it is a tight fit. He holds his little pinkies up about 2 inches apart, and that's what's left. So it's third down and a couple of inches to go. The ball on the 41-yard line.
One man has had an outstanding game running-wise today is fullback Ben Wilson. On 13 carries, he's picked up 62 yards. And a moment ago against the sweep, they ran at Big Ben Davidson, a former Green Bay Packer.
Ready to go now. Single flanker is out to the right side. And Starr goes back to throw. Floats one for Ben McGee. McGee catches it on the 32. His butt from behind and drops number 25. Making the tackle with Roger Bird. Boy, that floating pass right over the middle. Just lost it. To settle into the hands of the receiver rather than thump in it. Has worked twice now. Once for a touchdown. That for a good gain by Max McGee. And the ball is at the 25. 36-yard pickup, and I was talking to Ray Scott, what makes Starr a great quarterback. He said the big thing he does is fully unexpected, like he did in the title game on third down, one throwing to Boyd Dowler for the bomb. First and 10 now. Ball 25 yards away from the Oakland goal line. Starr on a long count. Oakland nervous, comes across, gets back in time, the throws to Boyd Dowler. The pass is incomplete. He was double covered down there. That was Howie Williams and Roger Bird, both on him, and both on either side of him. The pass had no chance. So Dowler throws back to the Green Bay Packer huddle as Oakland figures out what to do now. It's second down and 10 from 25 yards away. Green Bay Packers began this on their own 17-yard line. Now they're down on the Oakland 25. Carroll Dale wide to the right. Boyd Dowler wide to the left. Starr on the draw play gives to Ben Wilson. This time Oakland was ready for the draw, and they nail him for a yard gain. Ben Davidson was right there, ready to wrap him up. And he held him to a gain of a yard. It'll be third and 9 on the 24.
Kind of interesting to note how the third down plays have gone today. Green Bay has had 9 third down calls. They made it right 4 times. Oakland is 2 for 6 in the play down category.
Well, the venerable Max McGee in his 12th year in professional play has come back in, replacing Boyd Dowler, and he's out to the left side. Starr with a third and long yardage, throws to the right. Carroll Dale makes the catch on the 13-yard line at the sidelines, and he sang that along by Kent McLuhan. Carroll Dale swinging down toward the corner of the field and then veering out to the sidelines, makes the catch. It's on the 13-yard line, and it's first down and 10. A big third down play by Bart Starr, completing to Carroll Dale. Ken McLuhan really wasn't badly beaten. He was a half step off, but the pass was right on the mark. Bart Starr holds his hands aloft, requests quiet, and gets it. First and 10 from 13 yards away. Starr backs to throw, looks to the right. He's got Donnie Anderson on the road and overthrow. He had Donnie Anderson in the end zone in the right-hand corner, and the pass was high.
That was a great call that time with the quarterback, Bart Starr, which nearly paid off for 6 points. Safety man dropped out there. Williams had tried to pick up Donnie Anderson one-on-one. And knowing Bart Starr, Jack, he's going to file that one away for later in the ballgame when he needs it.
Tom Keating is trotting off the field, being replaced by Carlton Oates. Tom Keating, who has got a bad right foot with trouble with his Achilles tendon, is obviously limping now as he comes back to the bench, and if he cannot return to play, it will be a tremendous loss for the Oakland defense. All set to go now. Bart Starr rolling out to the right, stops, comes back, hits Donnie Anderson on the 5. Anderson can't get across. He's stopped on the 2-yard line with a tackle on a last-ditch save by Gus Otto, the right side linebacker. Down to the 2. First down and goal to go. Bart Starr has 2 yards left to negotiate for a touchdown. The score at the present time is 16-7 in favor of Green Bay. 6:45 left to play in the third quarter of the game. Anderson and Ben Wilson are the running backs. Bart Starr barks the signal, and there's a busted play. As Starr spun to hand off to Donnie Anderson, they ran into each other. And Anderson is dropped right on the line of scrimmage. So it is second and goal to go from the 2. Forrest Gregg is in a discussion with Bart Starr as he gets back to the huddle. And now Starr leans into the huddle to call the play. Carroll Dale goes out wide to the right. Second down, goal to go from 2 yards away. Starr barking the signals. He gives the ball to Anderson, off tackle to the right. Oh, no! Big hole open on the line. And Anderson gets into the end zone without a hand laid on him. Anderson with a touchdown on a 2-yard sprint with a big hole opened by Forrest Gregg. So perhaps that conversation he had with Bart Starr was instrumental in calling that play. For it was he who opened the pass. And Anderson went for 6 points. So now Don Chandler to try for the extra point. There's the snap. The kick is in the air. And the kick is good. Timeout is called on the field with the score, Green Bay 23, Oakland 7.
There was a time if you smoked a reduced tar and nicotine cigarette, you were more or less alone in the world. But something's happened. Things have changed. You're not alone anymore. Today, more and more people smoke true filter cigarettes because true satisfies. Satisfies with good taste and reduced tar and nicotine. True filter cigarettes with the air filtration system, the good feel of a built-in mouthpiece, the good taste and reduced tar and nicotine. Latest U.S. government figures. 12.8 milligrams tar, 0.7 milligrams nicotine. With or without menthol. Shouldn't your brand be true?
Now we're ready for Green Bay to kick off to the Oakland Raiders. The deep men are Dave Grayson and Larry Todd. Don Chandler to do the booting. The ball is teed up. Here comes Chandler, and the kick is on its way. It goes deep. Grayson goes back into the end zone, fumbles the ball back there as he runs into the goalpost, picks it up, and grounds it in the end zone for the touchback, and it'll be 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line for the Oakland Raiders. Now it's obvious in the ball game, the Oakland Raiders have got to take this ball and go downfield 80 yards if they hope to get back in the game. LaMonica has always been able to bounce back this year with one exception. The New York Jets beat them 27-14. Darrell had one of his infrequently bad days. He normally is outstanding in bouncing back. We know in the second quarter he drove his club 78 yards. Let's see now if he can do it against the Green Bay Packers. Vanderjack and Dixon are the running backs. They're shifted over to the right. LaMonica quarterback. Back to throw. Drops back further. Is hit just as he throws the ball, and the throw is wild as a result of that collision, and it is incomplete. Lionel Aldridge came storming in there from his right end position. Got to Darrell LaMonica just as he unloaded the forward pass and destroyed its accuracy. Well, let's take a 10-second breather here for station identification. This is the CBS Radio Network.
The Super Bowl game coming to you on CBS Chicago, WPBM Radio. It's 4 o'clock in Chicago.
Now we're ready to go. 2 wide receivers are set to the right side. Running backs are split out, lining up behind the ends. LaMonica going back to throw, and he flips a little one out to Vanderjack, the running back, and he takes that ball right at the line of scrimmage, goes over to the corner. Herb Adderley there greets him and knocks him out of bounds, and he has no gain on the play. Ball still at the 20-yard line despite the completed forward pass. 3rd and 10 on the 20. That was not a screen pass. It was more of a safety valve pass out to the right side, and the Packer coverage held it to no gain. Now both wide receivers are set to the left on a 3rd down and 10 yards to go situation. Back goes LaMonica once more. The heat is on. He unloads, and hurried in the throw. The pass is well away from the target, Vanacek, and it is incomplete. Willie Davis, Ron Kostelnik were putting pressure on him, and Dave Robinson, the left side linebacker, made a delayed shot. A late developing blitz, you might say. After the initial rushers were all engaged by blockers, he went in there and really was the one who hurried that throw. So out of downs, they go into punt formation. Mike Eyeshide to kick. Tom Brown, Willie Wood are deep. The punt is on its way. A kind of a line drive kick. Willie Wood backs up, takes it on his own 38, runs to the sidelines, but can't get upfield, is dropped immediately. He's still on the 38-yard line. Dan Archer making the tackle. They're putting it down on the 39. It'll be 1st and 10. Timeout is called on the field with the score Green Bay 23, Oakland 7.
A good suggestion from Household Finance, the company that's been helping people for 90 years. HFC says, before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost. You'll know at Household, because HFC tells you plainly in dollars and cents what the cost of your loan will be. Household also advises, check the cost wherever you plan to borrow, just as you'd check the price if you were buying something. Then, visit the company that says...
Before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost.
That's Household Finance.
For a large or small loan, call one of the 1,500 HSC offices throughout the United States and Canada. See your phone book for the one nearest you.
Now we're ready to resume play. This is Jack Drees with Tom Hedrick speaking to you from Miami. With 4 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in the third quarter of the game. Bart Starr back to throw. Has plenty of time. Looks for a target. The pass is overthrown as Carroll Dale got tangled up with a defender, and a penalty flag goes down. Willie Brown covering Carroll Dale on an attempted bomb. That was going to be a long one. Waiting now for the decision on the call, and the ball is spotted down at the 44-yard line. Holding penalty assessed against the Oakland Raiders gives the ball to Green Bay with a first down on their own 44. So, a new series of downs now. And the Packers come out of the huddle. Carroll Dale coming wide to the left. Boyd Dollar out to the right side. Back goes Starr to throw. It's a quick look-in pass to Carroll Dale. He catches it on the 50 and is tackled immediately. The stop made by Willie Brown, the cornerback out there on the right side. The ball is at the 50-yard line for a gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4 yards to go. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Back go the Packers in the huddle. Oakland in their defensive huddle breaks from it now. Fans out across the line of scrimmage. Here come Green Bay up to the 50-yard line where the ball is set now at second down and 4 yards to go. The score in the game is 23-7 in favor of Green Bay. Starr at a long count. Now he takes the snap, hands off to Donnie Anderson on a well-disguised cross block, and Anderson, making the most of the fake and good line blocking, off to the right side, takes it down to the Oakland 45 where Dan Connors, the middle linebacker, makes the stop. Ball at the 45. First down, 10 yards to go.
Show you what a strong runner Anderson is. He was headed to the line of scrimmage by Dan Birdwell, an outstanding defensive lineman, but Donnie got by him and kept driving down to just over the 44-yard line.
Single flanker this time as Carroll Dale set out to the right side. First down, ball given to Donnie Anderson. He rolls out to the right, cuts inside a good block, gets down to the 40, is dropped on the 39-yard line. Kent McClellan coming in to make the tackle. Marv Fleming, the tight end, went out and handled the corner man and did it beautifully, and he opened the door for Donnie Anderson. So it's a 5-yard pickup, a little better than that, actually. The ball just inside the 40. Call it second and 5 on the 40. So now Green Bay is a little less than 40 yards away from the Oakland goal line. This time, Carroll Dale is sent out to the left side. Boyd Dollar goes to the right. Ball is on the hash mark nearest the right sidelines as Green Bay looks at it. Starr drops straight back, has the protection. Let's go with a bomb to Carroll Dale, and it is Incomplete. Almost intercepted by Willie Brown. He stayed right with Dale. He caught that ball, but as he caught it, he fell, and it was dislodged on impact and is ruled an incomplete pass since Willie Brown never had it in control. Incomplete, 3rd and 5.
Kind of interesting to note in the ball game, they've not been throwing at McClellan, but rather to Willie Brown the last 2 times up. Next week, it's the Pro Bowl from Los Angeles and the Coliseum. The All-Stars from the Eastern and Western Conferences over most of the CBS network stations. 3rd and 5 for Bart Starr and the Green Bay Packers with the ball on the Oakland 40-yard line. The wind at the back of the Packers. Really not enough of a wind now, I don't believe, to be a strong factor in the ball game. There's a quick throw over the middle of Mark Fleming, his tight end, and he has the first down as he is rolled to a halt at the 30-yard line by Roger Bird. 1st and 10 on the 30. Mark Starr is having a fine day passing. He is 13 for 22 in the ball game, and Darryl LaMonica right now has completed 7 throws and 18 attempts. 1st and 10, the ball just short of the 30. Here come the Packers again. Bart Starr once again, the master in these critical 3rd down situations. After going through a dry spell through the 2nd quarter and the start of this 2nd half, in failing to get first downs. This time it's a handoff to Ben Wilson, who slants to the right off tackle and is able to pick up perhaps 3 down to the 27-yard line before Ike Lassiter, the left end for Oakland, brought him down. Ball is at the 27. It'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go. 2nd and 7 from the 27. Green Bay leading 23-7 over Oakland with a minute and a half to go in the 3rd quarter. Dowler out to the right side. Carroll Dale wide left. Then Wilson, Donnie Anderson, and the running backs. They're cheated a bit to the left in their backfield alignment. The ball is given to Donnie Anderson. And again, Donnie Anderson and Bart Starr had a rough handoff as they nearly collided with each other. It was a glancing blow this time, and Anderson was able to recover, get through a hole on the right side of the line, and get it down to the 23. Ike Lassiter and Carlton Oates making the tackle for Oakland. Now it's at the 23, 3rd and 3. 23 yards to go. 3rd down, 3 yards is the situation facing Bart Starr. Oakland comes up now into virtually a 7-man front, now practically an 8-man front. Let's see what Starr elects to use against that kind of a defense. Gives the ball to Wilson, and he threw it at the Oakland Raiders, going right straight ahead on a quick opening play, but Wilson could get nowhere. That Oakland defense powered through there and nailed him for a loss, led by Dan Birdwell, the left tackle. And the ball goes back from the 23 to the 24, where it's 4th down now. And time again for Mr. Chandler. Don Chandler, the field goal specialist for the Green Bay Packers, is in the ball game. He'll be trying a 31-yard field goal, his 4th field goal of the game if it goes over. And the kick is a low line drive that hit the crossbar, bounced up and over. It is good. Don Chandler, his 4th field goal of the game, and that one is close to missing from a height standpoint as it's possible to get. It was a line drive shot. Had anyone in the line of scrimmage stood up, they would have blocked it. And it hit the crossbar but bounded up and through it. So now the Green Bay Packers will be kicking off once again to the Oakland Raiders with Grayson and Todd deep. 2 seconds show as remaining in the 3rd quarter, so they'll just about have time enough to take this kick and do what they can on the run back, and the quarter will end. Chandler moves into the ball, and it's on its way. A high end-over-end kick is dropping short. Grayson takes it on the 15, across the 25, 30, cut back at the 40, he's caught there, and down at the 40-yard line by Willie Wood. And there is the end of the 3rd period with the score Green Bay 26, Oakland 7. There is the end of the 3rd period with the score Green Bay 26, Oakland 7.
Blocking backs and tacklers aren't noted for getting along with each other, but
But when it comes to Shakey's Pizza, they're in complete agreement. It's the greatest. And there's no argument about the fun of Shakey's either. Players, coaches, and fans alike enjoy the good time sing-alongs at Shakey's Pizza Parlor and G Public House. The ragtime music of Shakey's honky-tonk piano and banjo is so happy, nobody cares who won or who lost. And when that delicious piping hot pizza is ready, when the man in the bright red vest and gay 90s bowler draws a frosty stein of Shakey's great old-fashioned root beer, well, that's when good sports from both sides get together. And the name of the game is fun. It's the perfect way to unwind after an afternoon or evening of rooting for the home team. So, for the time of your life, join the happy gang at Shakey's Pizza Parlor. Do it tonight. Then you'll agree with me and the players and millions of other football fans all over America. Happiness is a place called Shakey's.
The Oakland Raiders, although that wind seems to have changed now, too. And it might well be that the fates of the game, that way the flags are an indication, is following Green Bay and swung around now to put the wind at the Packers' back. Vince Lombardi gets the weatherman on his side, he really becomes invincible. Chandler now has kicked field goals of 39, 20, 43, and 31 yards. Oakland has the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line. Ready to put the ball in play. They put the 2 wide receivers out to the right side. Romanica rolling out to the right, has time to throw, pitches one out complete to Vanacek. Vanacek along the sidelines is caught, fumbles the ball. It's picked up by Dave Robinson. Robinson is back to the 15-40, down to the 37-yard line before he is stopped. Vanacek fumbled the ball after the pass was completed. It was picked up by Dave Robinson, the linebacker. And he went all the way back to the 37-yard line before he was stopped. And Green Bay takes the ball with a tremendous break in the game. Now the Packers, 1st and 10 from 37 yards away. Watch out for Bart Starr to go for everything on this first one. He's back to pass. Look, and can't get rid of it. He is hit. And dropped for a loss. A loose ball is picked up on the whistle and called that one dead. Ben Davidson came across like a shot from a howitzer. Crowd, Bart Starr, dropping in for a loss. After the whistle had blown the ball dead, it rolled loosely for a moment, was picked up by a Raider, but called back. No fumble. That puts the ball back on the 48-yard line. 11 yards is the loss. It's 2nd and 21.
Apparently, Ben Davidson knew the reputation of Bart Starr. He thinks a lot of him. He was with the Green Bay football team as a rookie, and he came shooting in that time as Starr set up to throw the ball down deep. And it's interesting to note that Green Bay in the game has picked up 121 yards rushing. The Raiders have 42 yards net rushing.
The crowd is booing that fumble decision. Gave the ball back to Green Bay. Bart Starr requests quiet, but now the crowd is not particularly cooperative. Now the Raiders, too, are holding a few hands aloft, but not with any enthusiasm. We've just started the 4th quarter of play. Green Bay has the ball. And an exchange of fumbles here. And it will be 1st and 10. Or, excuse me, 2nd and 21 on the 48-yard line. Following that big shot by Ben Davidson, throwing Bart Starr for the substantial loss. Again, the crowd boos. Bart Starr waits for it to settle down a bit. Now he's going to try and get the play off. He turns his head from side to side to make sure they hear the signals. Travis Williams in now, the running back, takes the handoff. His penalty flags fly down. It's a quick shot into the line. It's held for a short game. Tom Keating, back in the game, makes the tackle, but the penalty markers are down.
That penalty will be offside against the Oakland Raiders. 5 yards. The man who had coached him on the neutral ball was Dan Birdwell, and that's why the defensive team was asking for the crowd not to boo, because they couldn't hear the starting count, and consequently, the 5-yard penalty marked off down to the 42-yard line of the Raiders.
So still second down, but it's second down now with only 16 yards to go, and the ball on the 43. End and flanker both out. Matter of fact, the tight end is split out about 5 yards from the tackle on the right side. Start back to throw. It's to Fleming, but he hurried the throw with a rush on as the middle linebacker, Dan Connors, was storming through there, and so the pass was blown outside and incomplete. Roger Bird covering Fleming on the play. So it's third down, 16 yards to go, and the ball is still on the Oakland 43-yard line. We've got practically all of the fourth quarter to play. 13:54 is the time remaining. Green Bay taking quite a bit of time in the huddle, and it figures these are devious pass routes on a 3rd and 16 situation. End and flanker both out now. Star goes back. The rush is on. He has time to throw for the sidelines. The pass is incomplete, almost caught. The target was out of bounds when he came down. Travis Williams. Gus Otto, the linebacker, was over covering on the play. So Bart Starr had run a formation that got him in optimum position, putting a speedster like Travis Williams on a linebacker one-on-one. But the speed of Williams also catapulted him so that when he took off for that football and caught it, his momentum brought him down well out of bounds for an incomplete pass. So it's fourth down. And they're in punt formation. Donnie Anderson to do the punting. Deep men are Roger Bird and Warren Wells. And the snap from center is good. Anderson, a left-footed punter, spirals one downfield to land on the 10, and it takes an Oakland bounce from the 10 back to the 15, where it's grabbed and grounded. Dick Kapp down under the play. Dick Kapp, incidentally, is a fresh face to the Packers. He's been on their taxi squad through the season, but was activated for this game. The ball is grounded on the 16, where it'll be 1st and 10 Oakland.
Balance has got to be a big word in this game. The Packers have been able to run and pass at the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders have thrown a little bit in this ball game effectively, but they've not been able to get their running attack going, and that is where they normally hurt people.
1st and 10 on their own 16-yard line. LaMonica has to go for the air now, and he's back to throw. Here's his toss, and it's Billy all alone and dropped it. Billy Cannon having a tough day in this ball game. That is the 3rd pass that he has dropped. They have been right in his hand, but he keeps looking around to see where the Packers are a little too early. And he really was in the clear on that one. A discouraging happenstance for the Oakland Raiders. 2nd and 10. Ball still on their 16-yard line. Bill Miller goes out to the right side along with Fred Biletnikoff. 2 wide receivers are set to the right. LaMonica rolling out to the right. There's his throw. He passes this time. Billy Cannon makes the catch at the 30-yard line with Willie Wood right there, and the tackle is made at the 31. That's enough for a first down. 1st and 10 on the 31-yard line. That showed a little class. LaMonica going right back to Billy Cannon, knowing how he must feel on dropping that one. He called a pattern for him again. And making the grab does a lot to get Billy Cannon from getting upset with himself and getting tense every time he's supposed to catch a ball. Hand off to Dixon. He's through the middle of the line, across the 40, the 45. And down along the 45-yard line by Henry Jordan. Quick opening play moving through there that worked effectively and put the ball up at the 45-yard line. That's enough for another first down. Pick up a 14 on the play. The score is Green Bay 26, Oakland 7. A little better than 12 minutes left to play in the game. Biletnikoff and Miller come out wide to the left this time. LaMonica looking over the Packer defense. It's a pitch out as he spins around with the ball, giving it to Uric Dixon. Dixon trying to sweep to the left. Is nailed as he gets to the 47-yard line by Leroy Cappy. And it's a gain of 2, perhaps 3 yards on the play. They're spotting the ball nearer the 48. 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
Hugh Dixon on 10 carries has picked up 43 yards, and by far the best ground gainer today for the Oakland Raiders has been the play you pointed out. Well, they run it flat block up the middle, and Hugh Dixon twice has picked up 14 one time and 15 on another run. Wide receiver set to the right. 2nd and 7 is Lamonicka's situation. He throws over the middle. The pass was partially blocked going over the line by Ron Kostelnik. Deflected away from the receiver, who was Stuart Dixon, and is down incomplete. Ball brought back to the line of scrimmage, and it suddenly becomes a 3rd down and 7 yards to go situation. Lamonicka is in the huddle now, calling the play for the Oakland Raiders. 11 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the game. Olipnikov out wide to the right. Inside him in the slot position is Bill Miller, the split end. Lamonicka, 3rd and 7, goes back to throw. Here's his pitch, and it is intercepted. Herb Adderley picks it up to the 40, 50, down to the 40, to 30, down to the 20, cuts away from Darryl Lamonicka at the 5, and goes all the way for a touchdown. A 70-yard interception returned by Herb Adderley. Packer defense has exploded. With Adderley picking one off and going in the neighborhood of 70 yards. He got it in the area of the 30-yard line, and it was all the way. Now the try for the extra point. Ball is played down. Chandler's kick is good. Timeout is called on the field with the score, Green Bay 33, Oakland 7.
When you borrow money, you want to do business with the oldest, most experienced company in the field, and by the same token, a company with a young understanding of your money needs. That company is Household Finance, now celebrating its 90th year of providing people with prompt money help. HFC is the company where you can borrow with confidence, as 2.5 million people do each year. The company with more than 1,500 offices nationwide, ready to serve you. And the company that tells you in advance what your loan will cost. HFC recommends never borrow money needlessly, but when you want money to pay bills, buy a better car, or meet other important needs, see the company with the young understanding of the modern family's money needs. The folks who say, before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost. That's HFC. Household Finance Corporation.
Now we're ready for the kickoff. Correction on an interception yardage. He made the grab in the area of the 40, not the 30, and it was a 61-yard return. 61 yards by Herb Adderley. Now Chandler kicking off. And making the catch is Larry Todd on about the 8. He's back up to the 20 and is down along the 25-yard line. A jarring tackle in there by Bob Brown. And the ball is spotted at the 26, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Oakland. 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line. 10 minutes and 52 seconds remaining to be played in the game. The Packers, with that interception exploding for a touchdown, have now gone out in front 33-7 over Oakland. Olipnikov is coming out wide to the left. Olipnikov, a seldom used receiver today. Lamonicka spins around, gives the ball to Stuart Dixon. Dixon finds an opening in the line, squirts through, cuts back as he crosses the 30, and is down on the 39 by Ray Nitschke, the Packers' middle linebacker. So it will be 2nd down and about 2 yards to go. Correction, the 34-yard line, not 39. Ball on the 34. 2nd down and 2. Olipnikov and Miller going out wide to the right once again. And now they make a wing back out of Pete Banaszak, bringing him up to the left side. And the handoff goes to Dixon. Dixon into the middle of the line is stopped for a short gain. He's able to edge across close to 1st down territory, however. Nitschke, the middle linebacker, and Ron Kostelnik, the left tackle, had his path pretty well blocked. But he fought his way across the 35 to the area of the 36, and they're bringing the chains out now to see whether or not he did make the 1st down. 1st and 10. Remember, next week it's the Pro Bowl. from Los Angeles. The All-Stars from the NFL's Eastern and Western Conferences over most of these CBS radio network stations. First and 10, ball on the 36-yard line in Oakland's possession. They trailed 33-7 with a little better than 9.5 minutes to play in the game. Again, Banashak hit into a wingback to the left with the two wide receivers set out to the right. LaMonica back to throw. And he arches one for Banashak, completes it with a penalty flag down at the 45. Banashak at the 25, tackled by Herb Adderley and dropped on the 24-yard line. Let's see what that penalty flag is for. Apparently, it was going to be a call against Green Bay. They're bringing the ball down. A holding call against the Packers declined with the long gain, and the Oakland Raiders have struck with a pass to a wingback that set the ball at the 24, first and 10. 19 seconds left to play in this game. And the Oakland Raiders are within hailing distance now of the Green Bay goal line. 24 yards out, first down. Wide receivers out to the right. LaMonica calling the signal, stakes the snap, drops back to throw one. Arches one into the end zone, completes it to Bill Miller, and it is a touchdown for Oakland. Bill Miller, the split end, operating as a slot back with the two wide receivers set off to the right side. Was unguarded down the middle. Caught that pass right under the goal post, and Oakland has put one on the board. 24-yard touchdown throw from LaMonica to Miller. Now the try for the extra point. And the kick is good. Timeout is called on the field with the score. Green Bay 33, Oakland 14. Play with Oakland to kick off to Green Bay. Adderley and Williams deep. Mike Eyeshide doing the kicking off. He gives the ball a high ride. Adderley is circling under it, takes it on the 2, back to the 10, cut to the left to the 15, back to the right at the 20. Hit and churning forward, he gets across the 25. Tackle made by Roger Bird. Ball will be placed at the 26-yard line. Well, let's see. Are they going to make it 26 or 25? They haven't put it down yet. Just across the 25, first and 10. First and 10 for the Green Bay Packers on their own 25-yard line, and Zeke Bratkowski has come in at quarterback. Zeke Bratkowski now at quarterback. Williams and Ben Wilson are the running backs. The handoff is to Williams. Travis Williams trying to get outside tackle is in a tangle of Oakland players and is stopped along the line of scrimmage. Dan Connors, the middle linebacker, and Dan Birdwell, the left tackle, were the first of several to hit him. So it's no gain on the play. It's second down and 10, still on the 25-yard line or barely across it. 8.5 minutes left to play now in this football game. Sun going rapidly or down below the horizon. The lights have been turned on, although it is not at all dark yet, but we are definitely in a twilight situation. Dollar and Dale are out wide to either side. The handoff is to Travis Williams once again. This time there is a haul-off tackle. He darts through it, but the secondary catches him at the 29-yard line. Tom Keating, sliding over from his tackle position, was the first to make contact with Kent McClure right behind him. Ball out at the 29. A gain of 4. It's third and 6. Zeke Bratkowski now at quarterback.
Kowski in the huddle. Tom? One of the few times this year Kent McLuhan has left the football field, and coming in to play right cornerback will be Dave Grayson. All ready to go on a 3rd and 6 situation. Batkowski calling signals. Kent Bowman is center. Penalty flags go down, and on the handoff, giving the ball over to Williams on a straight-ahead quick opener. He's able to take it out to the 33 where Dan Birdwell made the stop. Now let's see what the penalty flags are for. Direction on that, Ben Wilson, the ball carrier. Travis Williams, the halfback that time, moved his hand. It's going to be 5 yards for illegal motion. That's what they have indicated right now, but declined for the Oakland Raiders. Halfback that time straightened up and moved his hand just a little bit. Short of a first down, it runs the Green Bay Packers out of bounds, which is why Oakland declined the penalty, putting the Packers in a 4th down situation. And so they left the front with Anderson going back to do the kicking. Bird and Wells, the deep men for Oakland. Actually, Roger Bird plays quite a bit deeper than does Warren Wells. There's about a 10-yard upfield split between them. Waiting now for the long pass from center. It's a good one. The rush is on, but Anderson gets it away. Towers one high in the air, and Roger Bird calls for a fair catch as he makes it on the 20-yard line. And now as the teams change lineups, let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the CBS Radio Network.
780 on your radio. This is WBBM, the talk of Chicago. The time in Chicago is 4:32.
Ball at the 21, 1st and 10, Oakland's ball, a little better than 7 minutes to play. Lamonica gives that ball to Larry Todd, who's come in at a running back position, and Todd, the cutting off tackle to the left, is across the 25 up to about the 26 or 7, where Henry Jordan brought him down for Green Bay. Ball at the 26.
This Larry Todd has great outside speed. He has been used as a wide receiver. One time he was toyed with as a cornerback a little bit, but he is a bomb threat to this football team. And later on in the ball game, we'll also see Warren Wells come to the game. He also has got that great outside speed. Lamonic, incidentally, throwing today has gone 9 for 21.
Both wide receivers set to the right side. Lamonica fakes to his backs, then rolls out to the left. The rush is on, and the pass is blocked by Ray Nitschke as he tries to throw downfield. Just as it left his hand, Nitschke going high in the air, batted at the pass, and it dropped to the ground incomplete. Lamonica worked the bootleg on that one. He faked to his backs, then put the ball on his hip, rolled out to the left. Nitschke was chasing him, and as Nitschke closed in, he tried to throw the ball downfield, but Nitschke blocked the pass. So it is 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Ball still on the 26-yard line of Oakland. 6 minutes and 17 seconds left to play in the game. Now the end and flankers split up. Bill Miller is wide to the left. Fred Biletnikoff is wide to the right. Lamonica back to throw. He flips one over the middle, complete to Billy Cannon. The tight end breaks away from the tackler. Breaks loose, gets out to the 35. Nitschke catches him with Dave Robinson. They down him at the 36-yard line. First down.
I think that tells you a little something about quarterback Darryl Lamonica. His ball club was down real badly, but he came and threw twice to Cannon. One time he dropped it, that time he caught it. And this guy seems to bounce back awfully well.
1st and 10 on the 36. Lamonica throws for the sidelines to Biletnikoff. He makes the catch at the 41. Is tackled immediately by Herb Adderley. Belmore to, I believe, the 42-yard line. A gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4 yards to go.
Biletnikoff has just caught that sideline pattern. It's quite a story. He got married underneath goalposts, and I don't know many football players have ever done that, but Fred Biletnikoff did.
Been partial to the post pattern ever since, I suppose.
I think he has.
Here's Lamonica back to throw again. Over the middle it comes, in and out of the hands of Larry Todd, and incomplete. Makes it 3rd and 4 on the 42. They're down 4 yards to go now. 5 minutes and 7 seconds left to play in the game. Packers 33, Raiders 14. Now the Packers have their defense set, and they spread out across the field, waiting for Oakland to come out of their huddle. Passing situation on 3rd and 4. Bolitnikoff coming wide to the left. Coming over wide on the left side as well is Bill Miller, the split end, and LaMonica is back to throw. He pegs it out to the right, and it was intended for Billy Cannon, but he was banged hard by Dave Robinson just as the ball got to him, and the ball was dislodged to fall incomplete. So it's 4th down. The Raiders, with 4 yards to go, are sending in Mike Eichheid, their punter, although we're getting to that stage in the game where they might fake one. Willie Wood is going back with Tom Brown as the deep men for the Green Bay Packers. Eichheid goes back deep. Long pass from center is a good one. Eichheid puts the ball in the air. The punt is on its way, and it's a long one. Wood goes back, takes it on the 3-yard line, swings up along the sidelines, back to the 20, 25, is cut back, brings him at the 30, up to the 32, and then he's caught from behind. Stop was made by Dan Archer, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers on the 34. There was a booming punt that was caught down around the 4-yard line, and he brought it back to the 34.
Excellent 31-yard return, and that's why many coaches fear a guy that kicks the ball too far. They actually outkick the coverage, and Donnie Anderson for Green Bay kicks it so high they get great coverage at Green Bay.
Petkowski at quarterback, Green Bay with the ball. The handoff goes to Travis Williams. He breaks through the line. Going off to the right side, he gets it out to about the 20 or 39-yard line before Willie Brown was in to bring him down. Gain of 5, it'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go. Line of scrimmage now, Green Bay's ball on their own 39. 4 minutes and 9 seconds with the clock running left to play in the game. Petkowski sends Carroll Dale out wide to the left side as a single flanker. Max McGee has been brought in, and he's playing a tight end to the right. Donnie Anderson with a handoff, off tackle to the left. Fouls through to the 44-yard line before he's brought down by Tom Keating. This will be pretty close to a 1st down. Let's see where they dig out the ball. It looks like it's just short. The ball has to get just across the 44, and it's just short of it. So it's 3rd down and about a foot to go on the 44-yard line. Clock's still running. A little less than 3.5 minutes to play now. Dale out wide to the right. Mark Fleming, the tight end, set to the right side. Max McGee playing a tight end to the left. The ball is handed off to Travis Williams. He breaks through the line, almost broke through. Gets down inside the 40 before he's tripped up from behind by Howie Williams. Howie Williams, the last man with a chance at him, and a diving tackle from behind did succeed in tripping him up. 1st down for Green Bay.
Boy, there's an exciting fact. The most exciting fact to come in the NFL since Gale Sayers is that grade 9.3 sprinter speed. He's 217 pounds and set an NFL record by returning 4 kickoffs this year. All of them were 85 yards or more.
Chuck Mercine has come into the backfield now at fullback. Travis Williams taking a handoff again as a blocker in front of him. And as he tries to hurdle over the blocked man, he is caught by Gus Otto closing in on the play. He went around wide to the left and was able to get that ball down to about the 38-yard line. So it's a gain of a yard on the play. It's 2nd down and 9 on the 38.
I'm kind of reminded what 2 quarterbacks said about trying to beat Green Bay. Len Dawson of Kansas City said, you won't beat the Packers by running at them. You've got to pass at them. Jackie Kemp of Buffalo said, you're going to beat the Green Bay Packers, you've got to mix it up. But today, the Oakland Raiders, because of Green Bay's outstanding defense, has been unable to run well on the ground.
And the clock is being stopped for the 2-minute warning to be given to each bench. 2 minutes left to play in the game. Packers out in front, 33-14 over Oakland. And next week we go across the country to California, to the Coliseum in Los Angeles for the Pro Bowl game that brings together the stars of the NFL's Eastern and Western conferences. And you'll hear that broadcast over most of these CBS radio network stations. We've got 2 minutes left to go in this second Super Bowl, as it's called, the World Championship of Professional Football between the champions of the American and National Football Leagues. Green Bay getting to this game by virtue of their championship conquest at Dallas in the frigid confines of Lambeau Stadium, 21-17. Houston getting here with their Oakland getting here with their conquest of Houston, a lopsided victory, 40-7. This score is 33-14 in favor of Green Bay. And Green Bay has possession of the ball, second down, 9 yards to go on the Oakland 38-yard line. Darrell Dale has come out of the game now for the Green Bay Packers. We'll check on his replacement, and it should be Bob Long, and it is. Bob Long has come in now and is flanked out wide to the right as a single flanker. Zeke Bretkowski at quarterback with 2 minutes to be run out on the clock. And as he gives this handoff to Chuck Mercine is nailed at the line of scrimmage, is able to fall forward a little bit, but Ben Davidson was there to make the tackle. He gained perhaps a half a yard on the play. We'll call it 3rd and 8. And the ball just inside just short of the 37-yard line. 3rd down, 8 yards to go now for the Green Bay Packers. Clock running, 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play in this football game. Max McGee gets out wide to the left a little bit. Passing down here, 3rd and 8. Let's see if that's what Zeke Bretkowski tries. He goes back, is rushed, and cannot get the ball away. A big rush was on with Dan Birdwell blasting over from his tackle position to make the actual contact. But he had a posse in there after Bart Starr. That puts the ball down on the 48-yard line. A loss of 11 yards to make it 4th down and 19. And Green Bay will have to kick the ball to the Oakland Raiders with 1 minute and 17 seconds left to play. The deep men once again are Roger Byrd and Warren Wells. Donnie Anderson to do the kicking. 1 minute and 17 remains. Now Green Bay gets up to the line of scrimmage. Anderson deep in punt formation. Warren Wells now has come well up the field. He's about 20 yards in front of Roger Byrd. Anderson puts one very high in the air. Byrd calls for a fair catch and then runs under the ball to let it bounce. And it does take a roll into the end zone. It hit on about the 12-yard line, rolled on into the end zone, bought a touchback, and it'll be 1st and 10 on the 20. And this Super Bowl game has just lost to Super Football. Because a youngster dashed out into the end zone, grabbed that ball on the hop, and kept right on running. I would suspect he's halfway home by now. Fortunately, they have enough left to continue the game. A fresh ball is brought in, and it'll be 1st and 10 on the 20.
Jack, that ought to be quite a ball game at the Coliseum next week, the Pro Bowl, and many of these same stars will be back in action like Willie Davis, Herb Adderley, and Willie Wood.
Oakland's ball now. LaMonica back to throw. The rush is on, and they've got him. The first to hit him was Lionel Aldridge. He spun him around, and then coming in to put him down was Willie Davis. And that puts the ball back on the 11-yard line. Loss of 9. It'll be 2nd and 19 on their own 11. 1 minute and 1 second left to play in the game. And the clock is running. We're now within the final minute of play. Oakland breaking out of the huddle. 2 wide receivers are set out to the right side. LaMonica pitches out. It's to Larry Todd with a blocker in front of him. Todd goes around the corner, spins clear, gets off at the 30, 35, is cut back at the 40. He's caught at the 40 and dropped on the 43 by Willie Davis. That puts the ball out on their own 43-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10, and Oakland is calling for a timeout. Stopping the clock with 32 seconds left to play. 32 seconds left to play. The ball at the 43-yard line. The score, Green Bay 33, Oakland 14. Darrell LaMonica trying to put something else in the way of a score on the board before this runs out.
One man that's had a fine ball game today for the Oakland Raiders has been split-in Bill Miller, 6-year pro out of the University of Miami. He's caught 2 touchdown passes today of 24 and 23 yards. He's been an outstanding receiver for the Raiders all year. And the thing is, Darrell LaMonica, even though he's been under a lot of pressure, has still come back to throw that football here in the last half like he's had to against the Packers.
Dixon and Todd, the running backs. Both wide receivers set to the left. And a throw is to Hewart Dixon, completed behind the line. He's at the 43, which is the line of scrimmage. Is hemmed in near the sidelines and knocked out of bounds at the 46 by Leroy Cappy. So it's a gain of 3 yards on the play to make it 2nd and 7 on their own 46-yard line. Now the clock shows 24 seconds left to play. Going out of bounds, of course, stopping the clock. Oakland back in the huddle. Here they come. Paletnikov wide to the right. Now we've got Warren Wells in there now at the split end position, and he also goes out wide to the right. LaMonica back to throw. Henry Jordan after him, and he has to hurry the throw, and the pass is incomplete. Aiming for Hewitt Dixon to hit the ground in front of him. Jordan was really coming in on LaMonica, and he had to unload in a hurry or suffer a big loss. So the ball is brought back to the 46, where it'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
Jack, Green Bay is so quick, as you well know. They don't have to blitz very much. They stay in their standard defensive 4-3 key. But they are so quick, especially when a ball club falls behind. They make one quick move, and then Davis and company just come blowing in on that quarterback, and you're under great pressure without the blitz.
Warren Wells comes wide to the left this time with Paletnikov split out to the right side. LaMonica back. Has time, throws one, takes it complete to Warren Wells. He cuts back at the 40-yard line. Is caught by Willie Wood and down at the 38. Catching the ball right along the sidelines, then cutting back toward midfield, but Willie Wood was there to grab it. And the ball is at the Green Bay Packers 38-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 38, and 10 seconds left to play in the game.
There's going to be a coming star for the Oakland Raiders. Warren Wells, a second-year pro out of Prairie View. This fellow has got outstanding speed. He's caught 6 touchdown passes on the year. He was given a brief trial in Detroit, also by the Kansas City Chiefs, but he has real good speed. He and Billy Cannon all year have been the primary bomb threats for the Oakland Raiders.
Oakland has taken another timeout to stop that clock at 10 seconds. They have one more remaining in the 10 seconds that are left. A cluster of photographers has come out on the field in front of the Packer bench to snap Vince Lombardi in his moment of triumph. Meantime, the affair to put the ball in play. Hand and flank are both out to opposite side. LaMonica looking to throw, caught and down. Coming through there was Willie Davis, and he got a hand on him and put him to the ground, back at the 41-yard line. So it's a loss of 3 yards to make it 2nd and 13. And with 5 seconds left, the Raiders have used their last timeout. No, they did not use it. The clock is running once again. And they get the play off before the clock stops, complete to Warren Wells. Wells, however, is grabbed by Nitke, and they come to town to end the ball game. Green Bay 33, Oakland 14, the end of the game. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment.
Hey, the Green Bay Packers of the AFL champion Oakland Raiders, 33-14. An outstanding defense today that saw a 61-yard touchdown on a fine pass interception by Herb Adderley. Outstanding running skill of fullback Ben Wilson. And the running to the outside by Donnie Anderson and Travis Williams. And quarterback Bart Starr, who today hit on 13 of 24 passes. Too much for the Oakland Raiders. And Vince Lombardi has done it once again, Jack.
Well, they certainly have, and as far as the Green Bay Packers are concerned, Vince Lombardi has done about all that could be done with that team, except, of course, to continue a championship scheme. But he has become the first team in the history of the NFL since the divisional setup was installed to win 3 consecutive NFL championships.
Second world championship.
I hope this is a habit.
It's become a semi-habit, Bernie. Congratulations for the 2nd year in a row. Wonderful performance by a fine football club and a great coach.
Say that I am real pleased with everything, and I'm very, very, very grateful, really, believe me. I think they got a great bunch of boys, and they simply deserve what they got.
Let me say this. We faced the Green Bay Packers today, and they are a very fine football team. We have always had a great deal of respect for them. Of course, their record in the National Football League speaks for itself.
They didn't give our offense room to do anything, and I think it's just their fine defense. And, I wish we could be as good in the future. I hope we can be as good in the future as they are.
They have just a solid ball club. They're just really tough, I guess you'd have to say.
I felt it was a day for me, a day of learning. There's no doubt about it. Darrell deserves a lot of credit under extreme pressure. I think he showed a lot of poise. He certainly has done a fine job for us this year, and he realizes he still has a lot to learn. We all do. And
we knew the play was coming, and we'd set up an arrangement whereby we were going to jam McGee in and not let him out. But as it turned out, McGee slipped through.
The greatest that I have come against. He told me a few lessons today that I won't forget.
Specific turning point, I thought maybe when we got the field goal right before the half, instead of them having the ball at midfield, maybe in trying a field goal, we had it and got a field goal and put us 16-7. And I think this made a big difference because they possibly could have completed a ball and got maybe a field goal and would have tightened the score. Well, I think very definitely they put the frosting on the cake. At that time, we did have a lead, but instead of having maybe just a shaky lead, all at once we had a good, secure lead. And I think that, as far as I'm concerned, this was the first time I really felt that maybe things were on easy street.
Well, he's one of the hardest runners we've met. I won't say he is the hardest because it's hard to compare, but he was doing some real good running out there. In fact, he did a lot just on his own, with no blocking.
Running outside had been their strongest suit, and I think this was the thing that we had to do early in the ball game was cut off the outside run, which we were able to do, and I think this made a difference. In the meantime, our offense got some points on the board, and of course, they were in a different situation.
Quick post is what it amounts to, but just he and I out there, man on man, and I kind of horsed by him. I bumped him when I came off the line of scrimmage, and he bumped me. We bumped each other, I guess.
It's inconceivable to think that anyone would know that that was Coach Lombardi's last game and just let it go as another game. I'm sure that was on everyone's mind, and they wanted to do the best thing they could and play the game as well as possible for him. Had to be. He's been such a dominant force in our life for the last 10 years, He's been the only reason for our great success at Green Bay. I believe that, and I'm sure everyone else believes it. We had all been pretty aware of the fact that Coach Lombardi was thinking very, very seriously about retirement. And while many of us cuss him or call him names or a number of things, it's something like you might do with your family. You can call your brother something, but don't let anybody else call him the same thing. This is the same way with Mr. Lombardi. We can cuss him, but don't let anybody else holler at him. And we all felt that this was going to be his last game. And I said to the fellas, I said, look, we got 30 more minutes this year. I said, let's give it to the old man. Let's play the last 30 for the old man. That's about all I said.